What's up, Chelsea?
What is up, Mr. DJ Concrete?
You know what? My computer is moving mad slow. I
Oh,
don't know why I just did that.
you're lagging.
Holy crap. Why is that doing that? Hold on.
Yep, you're lagging, that's for sure.
Let me see.
Well, it looks like we have. Oh, no,
Wow.
you are still lagging in the house.
All right. I'm probably gonna have to cut it. And then is that are we there?
All right.
Wow.
That is
Uh
strange. I'm not sure what we're happening.
yeah, that's crazy. All
Yeah.
right. We'll see. Let's see how this goes because I may have to cut it and then come back on.
Yeah.
So, that's weird. That is weird. That's weird. Uh-oh. We got
Oh.
Big Sis saying, "Hello, Chelsea."
Oh, I got to open my chat up. Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Y'all know what? I'm gonna click off and come back on. I don't know what just happened. Give us about three. Oh, no, no, no. There we go. Is that? I
No.
think. I think. Uh. Hey, Big Sis. How you doing, Leslie? um. Do you see us like lagging? Wow. Huh.
Your voice is definitely behind your movements.
Wow. Okay. Give us 5 minutes. We're going to come back on. Big Sis, don't go nowhere. Hey, Dougie, what's going on? Don't go nowhere. I have to log off and log back on because something weird just happened and we're about to fix it.
It is the Matrix.
Yeah. Give us a second. We're getting ready to come back on because it just
Oh,
did
you
something
guys
crazy.
look
We'll
and
be right
sound
back.
great.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you. We are on the struggle bus, y'all. We are on the struggle bus with this technology. We got him completely frozen in the house. I don't even know if y'all can hear me, but we gonna fix it, and we gonna get us on here and get us going. Because I ain't got no controls in the building. So it might be conversations with Laggy Crete and CeeLo. I don't know. We're gonna hold down the fort, but I can see it. We got Leslie. We got Dougie coming to the stage. We got Miss Tina Bolin coming in the house. We got Petey Collins. Good brother. Good evening. Good everyone. Good evening. Miss Tina Bobina is in the house. I'm super excited for tonight's show. I got DJ Concrete over there trying to figure out the technical difficulties, but we've got a good topic today, y'all. And I think a lot of people can relate. That's for sure. So I'm going to kind of hold off on bringing up some of the topics. But how have y'all been this week? In the chats, what do you got going on? Hmm? What do we got going on, y'all? Well, I have had a blessed week. We had a little wet. Think that right. I know we all are probably about sick of the rain. That's for sure. Crete got that Dollar Tree service, ain't it? I don't know what's going on. Hey, I don't even got Wi-Fi. I'm running on a hotspot. So I thought if anyone was going to have internet troubles, it would be me. But nope, I think I'm doing pretty good. Uh, that Dollar Tree, and that's definitely the Matrix, man. Something in the air. We got something going on. Um, what do we got going on? Well, I might just preface y'all a little bit on what we got. We're going to be talking about relationships and how we grow apart. So, I think everybody in their lives got some kind of story or relationship where they have grown apart. So, I'd be thinking on some of those opinions for sure, and what are some of the things that led you to grow apart in that relationship? What are some things that you learned from potentially growing apart? We got Santa Claus is coming to town, y'all. This is my season. Okay, we got my birthday is December 30th, so I can't not love this season. Um, that warlord they let go messing with it. Man. Oh man, Dougie. Um, yeah, let's see. But yeah, tis the season to be jolly. And I love this season. I think everyone's in a little bit of a extra spirit of giving. Um, but I wish that people would learn to be a little bit more giving all year round and not feel like it has to be on a holiday. So, um, yeah, yeah. So we're gonna have conversations with CeeLo in the his. Oh, I don't got another face on here. Let's see if we can get the sound. Got another face on here. Let's see if we can get the sound.
It's still. Oh man, you know what? It is still lagging. You see it?
Yeah, they said, yeah, it's lagging. We can hear you fine. It's just the visuals are lagging. Dougie said you got that Dollar Tree service.
Yeah. No, it's that Culver Street service. But I tell y'all what, we about to kick it off anyway.
Yeah.
Look. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's still. Well, I'm gonna leave it like that. So okay. Shouts out to my big sister Leslie. What's up, big sis? We great started off, and if it's going to lag, it's just going to lag for right now. Hopefully, it'll catch up. Shouts out to my brother Dougie. What's going on, Dougie? Shouts out to Miss Tina Bowling. Who else we got in the room, Miss Chelsea? Who did I miss?
We got Miss Doobie chiming in saying Happy Friday. Ain't we all
Okay.
excited for that?
Awesome.
No.
I didn't even see. Oh yeah, there she is, Miss Doobie. Okay. Thank you for coming in and supporting once again this week. Also, okay, Dougie said he loved Christmas time in B more. Man, this is crazy. Like, why is it lagging like this?
Hardly any Christmas stuff up in the city.
Yeah. Wow. This is crazy.
You're gonna have to not look at your screen because I know it probably drives you nuts.
Yeah, it is. Like, oh my goodness. Hey y'all, this is what we're gonna do. We gotta do it the right way. Do not go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna log off again and get this thing right. Don't go anywhere. Get ready to yeah, let me get this. Let me get this. Be right back, y'all.
Back to the solo show. Back to the solo show. I love Christmas time in Baltimore. Has hardly any Christmas stuff up in the city. Why? Gotta have some Christmas stuff up. The Christmas lights. We had a street in South Florida. It was called Gabriel Street, and it was just known for their lights, and every year we would just go and walk around and see the Christmas lights. And so that's definitely a good childhood memory for me, is Christmas time. And obviously, with the birthday being the 30th, it was merry, happy birthday, Christmas, New Year's. So that was another element of having a birthday on the 30th. So any of y'all that know that or have a birthday around that time, y'all know the struggle. Y'all know the struggle. Sup fam from AC Barner. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. We are having some technical difficulties on Mr. DJ Concrete's side. He has jumped on the lag bus today. Miss Doobie says she got her popcorn and she is ready.
1, 2. How about now?
A little bit better. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We're in the building. Okay, y'all. Here we go. Finally.
All right.
Finally. I apologize for that. Once again. All right. That was
Wipe
that
the sweat off your
Dougie said,
forehead.
yeah, y'all got me in here sweating.
Sweating.
Uh-oh. Dougie said, tell Crete he need to come over to our place and broadcast your hotspot. Okay.
Yeah, I was giving you a hard time saying I was on the hotspot. You'd think my internet would be bad.
Yeah, I shouldn't have ran my mouth. Just before we came on, y'all, I was running my mouth, and now look what happened to me. All right. Now, and we already shouted out our people. We're gonna get y'all shouts out again here in a second. Hey, little sis, my baby sis, Neen is up in the building.
Ooh.
Okay, so today, and I'm hoping that the topic is still there. It should be, but the topic
a little bit.
Okay, awesome. You were a lifesaver, Chelsea. Straight
I had
up.
to keep something going.
Yeah. So look, this podcast today is about. Hold on, let me see here. We had another comment. Oh, that was baby sis saying, "Hey, okay." So here's the thing. Today, our topic is relationships. How do we grow apart? How did we grow apart? That's a deep one because there's so much of that going on right now. What would you say about that, Chelsea?
That is a huge, there's a lot of things I think that can go into that. So I think that's going to lead into a lot of the topics tonight. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Honestly, we do have a lot of people growing apart. And I think, especially through COVID times, I think it really challenged and tested a lot of relationships. So I think, yeah. And like Dougie said over here in the comments right here, many stopped listening to each other. And I think a lot of what I have to say in relationships really boils down to communication and listen. So I agree with Dougie over there for sure.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Because you know what? At first we took a lot of things for granted, and a lot of times we was thinking like, oh, we can just run out and just leave and then and come back and everything will be okay. Well, COVID had us clamped down, and that showed the true test of each and every one of us. You want to read what Miss Tina Bowling said?
Yeah, Miss Tina said we stop trying and give up. I think so too. I think people get to a point and they give up and they stop trying.
And listen how people are on this in line in the same. Look at Dougie's comment.
Yeah, many stop listening, lining up with that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
many
that's
stop
crazy.
Listening to each other.
So we never thought about that before. And I know the divorce rate from 2020 to now was amazing. And it's so sad. So sad. I was trying to find the phone, y'all, and I will find it so we can open up the call-in lines. That's just me slipping. But let's open it up here. We're gonna open it up. In this day and time, marriages and couples are suffering. In fact, almost 50% of all marriages in the United States will end in divorce or separation. And that is so sad. That's really so sad. Do you know how much of the next generation that you're damaging because of that? Most people, I hear when they break up, honestly, they need to get back together. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them should, but then some may not.
It's
Um, Go ahead. You think is what again?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair said for sure. I mean, there are some that I think just could actually put in the work on both sides and actually work on it. And it's
Hmm.
easier to give up and walk away. That should probably try. And I think there's a lot on the other side where they need to be separate.
Right, right. And shouts out to Simply 10 Art just popping in. Say, you want to read that one, Chelsea?
Yeah, work is busy. Sorry, I'm missing y'all. Well, I'm glad you showed up
Mhm.
in the building.
Yes, absolutely. And Miss Doobie said,
I feel like during COVID, people found themselves because their self and the mask they were wearing wasn't sustainable. And I agree with that so much because in COVID times, like
Amen.
amen to that. We're gonna start
hmm
early with amens. Uh
right,
uh because they're self, you're right. When you're forced to be one, it's either going to make you or it's going to break you when you are maybe not used to spending that much time together and all of a sudden you're spending 24 hours together. It's really going to test that relationship. And so I think that it is when that mask is let down and you really
right,
see it
right.
wasn't sustainable.
Is that cuz in the building? Does that say living life with spice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Living
cuz. What's
life
up,
is
cuz? I love you. Um, Make sure y'all check her podcast out that's coming up, Living Life with Spice. That's Sweet
yes.
Mama G. Um,
Sweet mama.
Sweet Mama G in the building. And you want to read her comment?
Yes, and it is head on. Egos kill a lot of relationships, and not even just relationships, friendships. I mean, family members. Ego in itself literally will kill so much.
Oh yeah. Again, we
Oh,
were talking about it last week. How if you can keep your ego in a positive place, it helps because the ego could take over. An ego could literally make you sick, literally.
mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm,
Miss Tina Bolin saying we finally pay attention to what we overlooked. It is right in front of us. Our heart don't want to accept.
mm-hmm,
Very true. Um, you know, again, COVID made us do things that we never thought we was going to do. Like, we took it for granted. A lot of times we would just go outside, whatever, and just get away from the person. A lot of times you still could go outside, but it was so many. Your bills was hanging over your
mm-hmm,
head. Your relationship, how you going to eat. I mean, it got crazy. It got crazy.
mm-hmm.
Miss Tina said jealousy as well.
So many good ones, y'all. Like seriously, that all of them. Listening, ego, jealousy. A lot of these we talked about last week, and a lot of these toxic traits.
Right. Yeah, most definitely. And make sure if y'all want to pop on today, if y'all want to pop on the screen, which is I need y'all to get bold, and let's
Come
go.
on.
Pop up on this screen, and here's the link right here for popping up on the screen. Right here where you can cam up. Where's that thing? Can y'all see
Yes, y'all.
that?
Come on.
Can,
I
can
don't
y'all
see.
see that? Oh, you don't see it?
I don't see
Oh,
anything in the link.
okay. I think I know why. But anyway, so and also don't forget down the bottom we have the call in line and on the bottom. We're gonna pop it on here in a second. In fact, y'all just let it scroll if y'all want to call in, or let's get some callers calling in, like Dougie or Big Sis,
Come
or
on.
even Sweet Mama
Come on.
G, or
Come
Miss
on.
Tina Bolin, or Miss Doobie. You know what I'm saying? So definitely pop on. Don't be afraid, and we want to make it happen. Okay, so now my other thing that I was going to bring out with with this how we grow apart. You know, also, researchers actually estimated that 41% of all marriages end in divorce. And that's sad. 41%. At some point you say I may as well don't get married, but I'm gonna tell y'all there's a lot of guys out here that's not trying to get married anymore. But I think marriage is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I've been there before. Um, and when it's done right, it's for the rest of your life, and it's supposed to stay
Amen.
that way. That's what it was built for. It's not built to abuse it, like a lot of people are today. A lot of people out here on social media. Yeah, I didn't divorced him, um and I had got my 50-50. Y'all women got chill with that. A lot of women ain't working to do 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't
Yeah.
out there working like that. You want to read Sweet Living Life with Spice?
Yeah, during COVID, people could not get out and be with their sneaky links. So they were in the house with their significant others that they really didn't know. And I was going to highlight that when you were talking about divorce. And I think that's an element of it, is not really getting to know your partner.
Okay.
Oh,
We got a
oh,
we got an early call in.
early in the mix.
Got an early call in, and it's much love. Who do we have on the line?
You have sweet Mama G.
Uh-oh.
Amen.
What's up? What's up, cuz?
What's up, y'all?
Not much. What you got for us?
Just talking about the COVID thing. Just as you talk to people and, over the COVID period, since, I do behavioral health, that was the main factor. They were stuck in a house. They really didn't know the person they were stuck in the house 24/7 with. When you're out working and, you're doing your thing, you don't see them and how they you may see the cute side of them. And then when you home, you got to see all the things that they got to get together, the gray hairs, the plucking, the flatulation, and all the other things you didn't know that your significant other was doing, when maybe you weren't around, or, the attitudes they may have. So COVID brought out a lot of different relationships. And then once the doors open up to the world, now you see, especially with these celebrity people, they're coming out. Everybody's divorced and everybody don't like each other. Everybody going back on the girls' trip. Everybody going back to DR and Brazil and every place else. So
yes, and that's true.
I want to add.
But let me say this though. Let me say this. Now, Miss Doobie said Mama G is spot on, and she's right. And then also read that one, Miss Chelsea.
Yeah, perhaps it was their way would made it. Oh my goodness. Perhaps it was the way they were made to get to know their partners.
Amen.
Right.
Was.
So
It
as Sweet Mama G said, it's crazy because you can live with this person or your partner for so long, but then when it's tight quarters, because those quarters become, I don't care if you have a 5 or 6,000 thousand square foot house, it can become small when you are forced to stay in with each other. It gets small, and then you start paying attention to your mate in a different way. But that's where that unconditional love comes in, because you got to love him or her unconditionally, whether they have the grades coming in or whatever, or if they wearing like the old, granny drawers and stuff.
Amen.
You gotta love them.
Bloomers, baby.
You know what I'm saying? you got love them regardless. But I mean, I know I got a buddy of mine who actually, I mean, he was married before, and he was saying that his ex-wife was, I think she was like 7 or 8 years older than him, and he became disgusted. Really, he was like, the final call was the drawers she was wearing in the house, and I'm like, why would you divorce? It was like some granny drawers. That's why I just brought that up. But his funny. And actually, you know who it is, Sweet Mama. But
Lord, I do. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what's another thing that happened on COVID?
What's that?
Think because a lot of us, well, I won't say just single people, because married people date 2 other people. But for single people, I think because we were trapped in the house for so long, I think it made us sit back, and now we're kind of more picky of who we want to deal with, because we weren't popping fresh out here with people. That's why the sex toy industry went up 400%. I wish I had invested. I did invest in a certain way, but I didn't invest in the stock part.
That's so
that portion went up so much for males and females.
Right.
So I think now people have been socially isolated to the point where they're cool with being in a house by themselves and buying products and doing self-care, and they could do without the partying and going out. They fine with going to sleep, by 9 o'clock or taking a nap. And I think that changed the dynamics of one relationship. And I think it makes it a little bit more harder on both ways. Harder for people who want to get to know people, and then harder for people who have been so isolated, just want to kind of shelter yourself like, no, I'm good. Because now you see mental health behaviors coming out. People fall in love with you so fast, and next thing you know, they in your trunk trying to get you because you're giving out some good stuff. And now they tapping out to you. And then all you have to do is go on social media and see so many mental health cases and domestic violence. And I'm really big on that. That's one of my big topics about intimate partner violence. And now they're not just killing their intimate partner. They killing the whole family, the dog, everybody else. With it. It's a sad time, especially during this period just before. It's always funny, not funny, but it's always kind of the time, like the flu season time from October to March, right between just before Thanksgiving and right after Valentine's Day, when you see an escalation in violence in relationships.
Yes, I can definitely agree with that. But here's another thing. With that divorce raising up, you seeing so much more domestic violence. And I think today, and I hate to bring this up during this show, but I think something happened today here where I think it was here where it was a divorce and the lawyer won for the wife, and I think the guy went and killed the lawyer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so these people are really they are really losing it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And who was that? Dougie said people stopped having faith. And they did. People, because you gotta remember during that time, people were losing their jobs. People were they couldn't go on vacations, they couldn't, they could barely eat. The markets was going crazy, barely getting food. And it was nuts. It was nuts, chaos.
Mass fear. I mean, there's so much mass fear embedded in people from it too. I mean, it goes along with isolating and all of that. I think it and on the faith part too, is like, the thing is did you even bring faith into your marriage in the first place?
Right. And see, that's what I think marriage, well, not a thing. I know marriage has ingredients like a soup. And you got to have all of those ingredients. If you don't have them, you're going to have to start implementing them into that marriage, into that soup, so it can taste better as you go on.
There you go.
Ms. Doobie, you want to read that one?
Yeah. Can there be unconditional love to a stranger / someone they never really knew?
I was getting ready to amen that one, but that is a good question. What do you think about that, sweet mama?
Yeah.
You said, can there be unconditional love to someone you don't know?
Yes. Can there
to
be
a stranger or someone they really don't know? Yeah.
No, not to me. No. I mean, love of humanity, maybe. But far as in a romantic relationship, there's some other elements that you have to get to. And it depends on the person. Everybody says, oh, no, I love that person unconditionally. Let you see them in another light.
Okay.
Give them a drink or two and see how they act out. Do something to them that overstep their boundaries. We talk about people having boundaries. You might, you do something they don't like, see how they act. And all this fall in love. It's a lot of things that go into the world. When our parents who, married so long ago, prices were different, rent was different, mortgage was different, childcare was different, but they're going to need free because granny watched everybody before the mother stay home. Nowadays, when one child in daycare is almost like a mortgage, that's ridiculous. You're always going to be fighting about some type of finance. The cars. I said people put that much energy into themselves first, then a relationship, like they was running to get that Popeye sandwich a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Then the world would be different. They will fight and kill each other. You over a piece of chicken, modified animal meat anyway. but they put energy into what they want to put energy into. And it seemed like the relationship, whether they are platonic, family related, or romantic, people don't put that type of energy in. There's so much energy in so many other things versus a real relationship with people.
Amen.
Yeah, that's it. And you starting to see a lot more. I don't know about y'all, but you start, I'm the violence period, but you start to see a lot more people at, as you say, Popeyes or McDonald's jumping over counters or jumping through the drive-through. People really started losing their minds, over this time through COVID. I mean, so it's like you really have to watch it. If you're in sales or if you just dealing directly with people in general, you got to watch how you talk to them. You got to watch. I mean, these are things we've been should have doing, but you have to really be careful these days because people are just on a whole nother tip. And it's just, it's crazy.
You better go to the Waffle House.
Oh yeah. I'll be good. Yeah.
Ooh, the Waffle House is number one.
Yeah.
They go to the Waffle House people. They strong. And you talk about staff appreciation and camaraderie. The Waffle House staff is the best. You want to say, good examples of people who stick together.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you said that. I literally was in Waffle House a couple weeks ago, and they right before we got there, they were brawling, straight up fighting in the Waffle House, employee and employee.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
Bless your heart.
Shouts out to Willie Bars in the building. He laughing at the oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That's actually my grandkid, which is his daughter.
Oh my goodness.
She is so funny. But you really have to watch out, and now what we're talking about now, just imagine your husband or your significant other going out and working every day, right? And let's say if you was a homemaker and he's coming in and he has to deal with so much stuff out there in those streets, and then he comes home. So that right there, that's where y'all need to join together, and that y'all need to have that understanding that, hey, home is peace. When I see you, I see peace. You see what I'm saying? Because that's where another thing or reason why a lot of people started growing apart. Everybody was getting tough, and it's just ridiculous. Look like you want to say something, Chell. Go ahead.
No, I just actually was thinking about that because me and Dr. D, it's funny. We want to come home every day, and that hug, that embrace, literally for both of us is a release. It's like, we've never once been like, oh man, I got to go home, and never. And I think that's something that's extremely important is that you've got to be that soft place to land for your partner.
Have to be. So, now Sweet Mama G,
yes, sir.
As we go on, we're just going to take this second. Why don't you plug your channel as you're building your channel so everybody can go over and also, subscribe to your channel.
Let me stand down, Chuck. You're trying to make me a celebrity. Hey, y'all. So, Sweet Mama G is on the move, doing a lot of different things. I'm also going to be on another national podcast, I believe next Sunday at 3:00, and I'll have that posted out.
Awesome.
We're trying to get our time together. Thank you so much. But it's Living Life with Spice, of course, Spice. On YouTube. Going into just basically a couple of different shows with different topics. One is the relationship show, kind of different. Right. And then I have one, I've been plugging Strictly Business, where I have different businesses come on from finance to health and wellness and just different things from a living life with life twist to it. Also, I am looking for individuals who want to come on to the show, and I am taking applications for my Big, Bold, and Sexy show. So we're going to be called the Big, Bold, and Beautiful People. So we are talking about us fluffy men and women.
Yes.
So yeah, fluffy men and women. So if you would like to be on, you can email at livinglifewithspice@gmail.com. Also, I am coming up with an eyeglass wear line, starting off with women in January. So they'll be up and on the site. We're also going to do some custom designs. So over the holiday, I will be meeting with my seamstress to make like some flares, some different things. So Sweet Mama doing some things. Today was my last day for class. I did my last final for today.
Uh-oh,
so for the
congratulations.
semester. So, thank you.
Yeah.
So that's been why she's been so quiet and not on the internet, as they say. Because that comes first. Gotta pay cash. You gotta, know your things you have to do. But yeah, big, bold, and beautiful show with us fluffy men and women.
Okay.
Strictly business and relationship. Different times it'll be coming out. We're trying to get our schedule together now. So thank you for the plug, Cuzzy.
You know how we
That's
do, Cuz,
exciting.
and we appreciate you. And if you want to stay on, definitely by all means stay on. Now the other thing is, and y'all make sure y'all go over there and subscribe, and make sure y'all hit the notification bell for that as well. So that's going to be definitely good. And then also, right here we have, if you're in a dating style of relationship, a lot of times those relationships are not lasting as long as they used to. Why so, y'all? Why do y'all think that's the case?
Can I speak on that one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Scenario. So I know y'all. So I had to do the big side first. I think now, with like we said, being isolated, not so social, I think we are starting to look for more relevant things that we didn't look for before in relationships. Just simple questions about people. Start with like their little food, asking what they can and can't eat. You start to see some kind of thing. You're like, oh, okay. And then just simple things. When you talk about getting married, oh, I'm a sweet mama, I want to marry you. I'm like, been there, done that, wore that shirt. Why am I going to give up my player card, my single life to get married again? Why should I get married? Or why should I give up my single life to be in a relationship? What are you going to bring to the relationship that's going to make my life enhance, or for me to come in your life enhance it? And I think people don't get it. They see you, the outside person, or whoever your personality is. They want to cling to that because maybe it's something they missing in their life. But not understanding, when I don't feel good or my stomach hurts, are you going to be there to help me? Remember, we talk about that for better or for worse. It doesn't mean you got to lose all your money, your house burned down. It could be at your worst that you may not be feeling well. And you got to understand COVID is still real. You can be sick. Are you going to bring me some Tylenol or go get my prescription? People don't make adjustments to their schedule. If you don't adjust your time so we can spend time together, how is that going to work out? So I think a lot of people don't want to give and take or put that effort in, to get to know. They just see the surface part of you. They're not really getting to know the in and out of you with the cocoa butter on your face and the bonnet on your head, or you with the gray hair, not you, but men with the gray hair and the beard, they haven't been to the barbershop or whatever.
Right.
And I think as we getting older, you start asking more things. Like I'm asking health questions.
Right.
We're gonna talk about the teeth again when you had your teeth, because if you're gonna do some things in your mouth, you gotta understand that's hygiene. Right. When have you been to the doctors? Have you got a colonoscopy? Because if I'm gonna have a significant other, I want you to be healthy, and I want you to feel the same way about me. So I think we got to kind of be more selfish when we are looking for a significant other, selfish for ourselves, because only you know what you want and what's best for you going forward.
I agree, Cuzzy. I agree. I'm gonna ask you a question in a second, but shouts out to my nephew. My nephew, that's my little guy right there, Lil Mo. Read that comment right there, Chelsea.
Yeah. People compare their relationships to status and celebrities. Also, not using the traditional ideas of love and faith of the most high power. Also, most people don't understand what married is or means.
Amen.
Ah, boy, that's another Stewart right there. That's my nephew. He is on here. Yeah.
That was very well said.
Yes, it was. And that's the thing, like, a lot of times when I talk about like women, spirituality has to have a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? It does have
Yeah.
it's probably number one. Um, being, spirituality. So well said, nephew. Uh-oh, there go big sis talking about So all I'm saying is now, Cuzzy, you okay. Okay. He also said married is an agreement between man and woman and God. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes.
So because now, so say for instance, you were just talking about that guy or who, the guy or whatever, right? So if he ain't doing this, why is he, you ain't say why is he trying to get with you or whatever, but if he's not doing this and doing that, quit, basically quit trying. What would he have to do in order to get you on the right foot with him?
I don't want him to. I want him to be his authentic self. So whatever his first answer was, you keep that same energy. Don't change your answer just because you think it's going to get me. Because it's not going to be what you really want to do. And while in a relationship, we decide to go there, you're going to start regretting it, and you're going to show your true face. I want to be an authentic feeling. Whatever the first thing that comes to mind that you're saying, if it's a no, make it a no. Right. At my age, I'm not 25, 30. At my age, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to change your mind or try to plot and plan for you to change your mind, because at this age, you don't have many moons to decide who you are. And I want you to be who you are, not trying to be somebody else just to be with me.
Yeah.
Because it's cool. I can back you up and we can talk about football on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Mm-hmm. Let me jump in on that, because I'd like to say something based off what Sweet Mama was saying. Asking and really asking, not just asking the what's your favorite color, asking the hard questions. What's in your bank account? Do you have anything in savings?
Hey,
do you have a mortgage? Do you have what are your bad habits? What are your dislikes? Like going through the hard, like, what's your relationship with your mom? Do you speak to your mom? All of these things that are really questions that don't typically come up. The nitty gritty, right? How many partners have you been with? That's a hard question. I know, but if you want to be with that person, I feel like you need to go through it all. And in the beginning, and like you said, Sweet Mama, don't just give me the answer that you think that I want. Give me the genuine upfront answer so that I can make the best decision, educated decision on my part.
So let me ask you this, Chelsea, since you said it, how much, and I probably shouldn't ask this, but how much does he have to make?
But that's going to be different for everybody. Truly, for me, I just need to know that you've got a place to. I know you can keep a home, right? Without having to depend on nobody else. You've got your own place. You keep your own car. You keep all your own stuff, to where when I come in, it's accentuation. So it's not really about a number for me, but yeah, it's not about the number for me. It's like, okay, do you own your home? Are you renting? Okay, you own your home. How much do you still owe on your home? What's your credit score? That's a big one. What's your credit score? Let's talk about it.
Okay, well, so a lot of these guys out here in trouble, but give me a number.
Right.
Give me a number. Give me a number of, does he have to make 50,000, 40,000, 60,000? How much you got to make?
Honestly, like, really, this is going to sound low and crazy, but 30.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
That's what.
Come on, man.
That's what I and my husband started at. I'm not joking. Like, I just put in a 5-year plan, okay, to get him. Sorry, kind of personal. Love you, Dr. D. To get him to a 60K.
Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, and I have much respect. I have much respect for you for that, because put it like this: a lot of women out here be thinking the man has to make, 70, 80, 100,000, $200,000.
Exactly. But He owns his own home. He was taking care of his grandmother. He's got his own everything. I mean, we have thousands of dollars in equity. He had all of this 8 years before I came into the picture. So you may only make $30K, but you got what you need to live a healthy and sustainable lifestyle and to put me up in the situations where I need. I need a home. I need a shelter. I need protection. I need love. I need compassion. I need you to love God.
Right. Yeah. And that's beautiful. Go ahead.
No, and I just said, and you have to meet those, or I'm sorry.
Right.
You're not for me.
You want to read? Big Sis said Jennifer Lopez. I think she was talking about something that we were talking about earlier, and probably something that Jennifer Lopez did. Jennifer Lopez is irritating to me. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. You want to read Miss Doobie?
Yeah. I really don't know if people with solid foundations truly grew apart. I think people became more aligned within themselves. Wow.
You know what?
Wow.
Yeah. If she's talking about what I'm thinking, which is being they're loving themselves too much, and that's a saying that just got on my nerves over time. That saying got on my nerves over time. That I'm just going to love myself. Some of these women just took that too far. They took it too far, where it's actually damaging them from meeting someone else. I'm sick. Like, if y'all, please don't say I'm loving myself. Don't say it. Just love yourself, but don't say it.
Bruh.
So, because that's sickening. Here's another one for you, Chelsea.
Everything is energy. Goodness me. I love your comments, Miss Doobie. Everything is energy, and it needs to be reciprocal flow exchange, or there's misalignment. And I think there was a lot of people that were aligned with a false reality at the beginning of COVID. Yeah. That one's good.
Yeah, most definitely. COVID, I'm telling you, if you knew somebody back in 2019, they're not the same person today. We've been through the ringer, and it got crazy. Here's another one from you, for you, from my nephew.
We got, those are questions that should be asked. She is right. People go into relationships, marriages blind, and too many secrets and lies. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree with that as well. Now, we can also say, how can you prevent a lot of this stuff? And these, better yet, let's do this. Let's just go straight to the core on this one. How can you spot in your relationship that you guys are going separate ways, or that that you're growing apart? In the comments as well, let us know.
Yeah. So this is what I call sleeping hedgehogs, right? This has been literally the topic of the week in my life, right? Every time we leave something unturned, unfaced, and we don't do anything about it, we get these sleeping hedgehogs in between us. And I think a way to spot that is, how are you feeling? Are you feeling some kind of way about something? Because if you feel maybe you're irritated because your husband works at the marble factory, and every day you've asked him to kick his boots off outside the door because it gets marble dust everywhere, but every day he tramples inside and there's steps of this every day and all of that, and you haven't said anything, you haven't done anything, but you feel some kind of way about it. That's a sleeping hedgehog. That's something that needs to be addressed and spoken about to see if you guys can come together. But a lot of people don't speak about it before it becomes this huge deal. And then you've got 50 sleeping hedgehogs that you have to turn over every single one of them and get them out of your way to be able to get back to your partner. So spotting that in yourself and having the courage to go to your partner and talk about it, because let's be real, it's hard to have hard conversations sometimes with people that you love, that potentially could hurt their feelings, maybe hurt their ego or their pride. But if you don't have them, it will not get better. You have to feel the pain to heal the pain.
Okay. Cuzzy,
What you got?
you still there, Cuzzy?
Is my job?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, you good.
What you want me to comment on? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's cool. What was the question was, how can you spot this in your relationship that you know, some of the things that you can tell when you're growing apart?
I think it's the disinterest. Not, you got to get them how you keep them, keep them how you got them. People stop going on dates. They start, losing interest. They start doing things apart, not spending time. I still see a lot of couples still do date nights, which are cute, just like they were just still courting. When people start losing interest, not including you in activities, hey, I'm hanging out, they always gone, not being, what you want to say, thoughtful in the process. Let's say they go get something to eat, come home and then bring you anything to eat, or didn't say, hey, babe, I'm going to wherever I'm going. I'm going to Old Lady Gang, wherever I'm going. Hey, you want me to bring you something? Mm-hmm. Or, hey, the good morning, the same good morning that you gave out when you was, plotting on me to get me is the same ones you need to still give me good morning. Even if I saw you in the morning, they say, oh, well, have a good day. Or, hey, I was just checking how's your day going so far. Yep. Just those little things, that can warm my heart. And it's not anything that has to be monetary. People always think, oh, well, I got to do such big things all the time. It's the small things that count. You get out there and warm my car, before we had the old instant starters. My dad still makes my mom's car. He's 80 years old. It's the little things that's appreciative. It's not just the money. Because most of us can buy whatever we want. We still want to feel like, on both ends, hey, my friend, I bring his slippers to the door or whatever, whatever you do, the small things that count, and it's not even small, it's the meaningful things. I don't want to say small because I don't want things sound minute in the things that you do. It's those heartwarming things, even smiling at me, like, oh, you look good today. Girl, look at them. You got the thongs or not your granny panties or the blue ones on. Right. So it's the small things that count for people, just like, oh, I got your favorite cookies. I was at the bakery. Those things are cute and charming. That's what we need to look for, cute and charming. We aren't going to all live forever. It's those, you want those good times to weigh out any times that weren't so good in your relationship, or not just your relationship, or things you've gone through. It doesn't have to be you two that's going through some bad times. It could just be just times, period. People, go through health issues, mental health, when they start having their family members starting to pass away. It could just be anything. People have natural sadness that come over them over time in this age span. So just being a supportive person, or, I don't look too good today, come and give me a hug. Or just come and lay your head on my shoulder. It's those things that are still cute, warm, and fuzzy, that keeps things going.
Absolutely right. And you named some key things in there that I was going to go over, which is, you already had it there, which is awesome. You want to read this one, Chelsea, from my nephew, Lil Mo?
Yes. Yes, she is. J-Lo, under that makeup and money and fame, she got to be miserable. So many partners, beautiful, and can't stay married. So sad.
Yeah, J-Lo, she just, I'm telling y'all, she irritates me. She irritated me from the start. I don't like pretty girls that think they pretty girls. If you want, and I ain't even saying she's pretty. I'm just saying, most the guys think she's this, that, and the third. But I'm just weird. That never mind me. But I'm just saying she's just, she a piece of work. And then the other day, she just said that she was talking about Whitney Houston. She tried to, I think she's supposed to sing Whitney Houston's part or something like that. But she was trying to down Whitney Houston. Like, what? You're not even on that level. Like, what you talking about? You shouldn't even have that part anyway. Simply Tenart says, when they stop caring. Yeah, when they stop caring, that's another one. Key thing in there. When they stop caring, you're growing apart. Miss Doobie said consideration, empathy, or considering others sometimes foreign to a lot of us. Our partners are experiencing struggles similar to us. Yes. Now, when you
Yes.
say similar to us, do you mean like the partners being men are going through the same thing as women are going through? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you think also, Chelsea?
Yeah, empathy is considering others is sometimes foreign to a lot of others. Our partners are struggling. Yes. So our partners are all struggling, I think, in similarity. So I do kind of agree with that. And if you want to clarify that, Miss Doobie, in the comments, please do. But yeah, and on this one, empathy is and considering others is very foreign to others. And when you have a long stint of single life, and it is actually hard for some people to flip into that. And I know in the beginning with me and my husband, that was something we had to talk about. He was single for so long doing his own thing, and things, I know I've said this before, but as simple as walking in the door and addressing me first and giving me a kiss, that was foreign to him. But it made me feel some kind of way, like I wasn't the first thing on his mind or important to him or anything. So we sat down and had a conversation about that. And he goes, oh, I really didn't even think about that. Now every single time. So I think it really is. And I think people who have been single for a long time, it is hard for them to kind of switch into, like Sweet Mama said, oh, I'm going out to eat. Let me pick you something up. Or, hey, man, you look good. Those little things. I think it's hard for some, but we have to learn how to communicate about the similar struggles or the struggles we're going through.
I agree. So you saying that like a lot of times when you were walking through the door, you were expecting the greeting?
Yeah. Yeah. And I never, at first it was, if let's say he's down there working on his dirt bikes and I walk in the door and it's like hey, da, 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 and he doesn't change a movement or nothing. It's just a, hey, a greet. Hi, look at me, come here, give me some sugar, give me some love, and at first, because I always had to initiate that, it made me feel insecure, like, well, why don't you greet me? Why don't you give me a kiss when I walk in the door? Like, why don't you stop what you're doing to make me a priority just in that moment? And then after talking about it, we did.
Well, Chelsea, I mean, come on, he was working on a dirt bike. I mean, you come in,
oh my
walking in
goodness,
there.
I don't care.
He
I
probably
don't
was
care
like, look,
what
he's
you
working on a
working
dirt
on.
bike.
I don't care what you working on.
Let me tell you something. My mate
I walk
coming
in
in
the
messing with
door,
me.
you
Go
give
ahead.
me a kiss, and then you can go back to swinging those wrenches, okay?
Nah, my mate coming in messing with me, working on a dirt bike. I'm gonna be like,
Bruh.
and then she keep going. I'm gonna say,
hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Anyway.
I'm so glad you said that.
Miss Chelsea trained her. Miss Chelsea trained her man how she wanted him.
Oh, she
but
trained
that
him.
worked for you. She trained him because it became a routine. It's like training, I don't want to say a pet, but train a pet. You got to go through the dog door every time when you come in, you do that. She trained and molded that man to what she wanted him to be. It wasn't authentic because it wasn't authentic. He came in to kiss you. You had to train him because you made him conscious of what he needs to do that's going to be correct for your feelings. So you trained him.
Let me
it
tell you
wasn't
something.
Authentic.
Dr. D, I cannot wait till you come on this show. Dr. D.
Oh, he knows it.
You're gonna have to rectify all this. See, that ain't happening to me. You want me to tell you why?
Well, now, actually, I'm from Baltimore.
And it ain't happening. Ain't no training.
You better say that right.
Yep.
Amen.
Anyway,
well,
on to the new one. Now, once again, here's another one from Simply Tenart. You want to read that one?
Yeah. You have to learn to break those single habits. I've been there before. I agree.
Yeah. Hold on. Is she talking about breaking? Yeah, y'all, they trying to gang. That's why I keep telling y'all
what I'm saying.
Nah, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all men to get on here and we got to defend this. They talking about training y'all and everything. Come on now.
Now, I never said and used the word train, and whether
I use the word train, and she trained
Yes,
them. I use the word train. And it's just like putting into practice what you wanted to make you feel better, but that may not be what he wanted to do. So you trained him for your feelings, but because you trained them about the conversation. It's just telling you a little bit. Come on, make sure, Rover, that you do this. So it's the same way. It should be authentic. It shouldn't be that you have to train them, especially if you say y'all were not teenagers when you got married, So, and sometimes you have to discuss those feelings, but that should be something, should be genuine, not like, oh, come on, but to each their own,
So,
and it just depends on the people. Everybody is not affectionate. You have some mates that are good provider, but they're not affectionate people. They may be sweet, but they're not affectionate.
So, is this like a return of when I kept on talking to you about duties and I can't accept training?
I ain't saying nothing.
Calm down, baby. Calm down.
That's what it
saying
is.
Nothing.
Yeah, all right.
I ain't saying now my business. but
anyway.
it is. I mean, it should be genuine.
All right.
And it's how you do it.
Let me just say, I get what y'all saying, but y'all can use the word, it doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And y'all, don't worry, be happy. Did we read this one from Simply Tenard?
No, it says, I wouldn't say trained, but she helped him break a habit. And here's the thing. If Dustin said to me, Dr. D said to me, sorry, no, that's not something I feel comfortable with. That's not something I feel is important. Sorry. Then yeah, we would have came to that compromise. But the fact that he did not realize that I just wanted that second of attention when I walked in the door, that he was more than willing to do that. So yes, in a sense, it may not have been his authentic reaction, but at the same time, he never had a relationship that was worth anything longer than 5 to 6 months. That was the longest.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, so he didn't know these things. He didn't know that was important to me. So again, if he did not want to or feel comfortable, it's not like I sat there and said, I have to have this. I asked him if this was something that we could do to make me feel this way. And he was more than happy to do that because he didn't realize, because he never had a long-term relationship ever. So to each his own.
All right. I got another one for you here. Comment.
What we got? I don't think she trained him. I believe she did the adult thing. She opened her mouth and did not just think he is supposed to read her mind. She came in a feminine, calm, loving way to make her point. And that's exactly how I addressed it. Thank you.
So you saying I'm wrong? I was wrong? No, I'm messing with you.
I'm talking to his comment and thanking him.
Right. So yeah, no. And that's how I think it happened, because I know you guys, and I know it was with all love, and and that's all a part of building your marriage and everything. So, all of us just have fun. You know what I'm saying? So, but okay, here's another one. Miss Doobie again. You want to try that one?
In reference to the empathy, our partners experience stress, insecurities, dealing with not nice people through their day. Exactly what I thought she meant. Everybody and our partners are experiencing similar stresses and insecurities as we.
Okay. Absolutely. I agree. And we are living in most definitely a stressful world. I mean, we thought traffic was stressful before. It's super stressful now. And then with disorders and illnesses going around, road rage is crazy these days. So
it is. I feel like it's bad.
Oh yeah, it's on 100 right now. It is.
Yeah.
So, people ain't even taking the time out to argue with you no more. They'll just pull up on the side and shoot. So it's just that crazy.
Yeah, people just get out and fight. It's like, this is wild.
Right. Here's another one.
It says
from nephew.
Sorry, from the nephew. She also said that he didn't notice it. He was single for a long time. It was about communication. And it was a choice to let me harbor that and let that be something that I took 6 years down the road, or it was something, like he said, we talked about and it wasn't a thing. So
right. And you know, that's definitely understandable, because especially if he was living alone,
Yeah,
you
for
know what I'm
long.
saying?
I mean,
Yeah. And then you know, it's y'all breaking the ice, you know, with
correct.
each other and
Correct.
everything. So that's
Very
exactly
well
what that
said.
is. So you know, things had to be readjusted, and y'all
Yeah.
making the adjustments. But in a relationship, especially a marriage, you're constantly
Yeah.
making adjustments. So I
Yes.
mean, and you can't think
It's a
that,
good
okay,
point.
we got here, um we're done. It ain't. No, that's just like your kids is always going to be your kids.
I think that's a good point to highlight, Crete, because a lot of people get into relationships and then they get married. And they're like,
Hmm.
okay, I got it. We're here. Cool. And I don't have to put in the effort or do those small little things like Sweet Mama had said that make it crucial, I think, to a healthy relationship. And I think they get into that marriage and they think, okay, cool, I got it. Now I'm here. And then that's why, I can't tell you how many people told me, yeah, wait till the last year or wait till the first year's over. You'll see what marriage is really about.
Hmm.
I'm still waiting for the ball to drop, because I think that's if you don't prepare and don't get to know your partner.
Right. Right.
I think in a relationship and marriages, you go just like any relationship, you go through stages.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
got that honeymoon phase, and you start to mature, and as you get older and older, it gets time and time. Back in our day, they used to say, "Get to your first 7 years." See how your first 7 years go. If you can get there, you probably last forever. That's probably
Mhm.
when it really go downhill. 7 years, and it depends on how much work and communication people want to, go through. But some people just go in how they get in. Some people may know each other 60 days and get married and be married forever. You might get
Yeah.
some people that court people for 12 years, get
Hmm.
married in the last 6 months. I was
Right.
talking to a guy. He said he was married to his first wife 6 years. Then he
Hmm.
said the next wife was 6 months. I said, well, wow, maybe the next one's going to be 6 weeks and 6 days and 6 hours. Have a good day. I don't know what 6 I'm going to be, but I'm good. You know, so it's just, the time, just putting in the
Yeah.
time, and it's a lot of work. And there are a lot of things that you can do to build your relationship. But people got to want to be married to be
Very
married.
well.
You just can't say I'm married but not do the work in the marriage
You're so
or
right.
relationship.
Right. And a comment that Simply Tenart made about something we said earlier was that's effective communication.
Yeah.
You know, when you can sit there and here's one thing that you definitely have to pay attention to in the beginning when y'all dating and everything else. If a problem arises and you want to resolve the problem, make sure your
Mhm.
mate is ready to resolve the problem and that y'all don't carry it on to the next day,
Yes.
because there's a lot of people out here that don't even know how to resolve a problem, and or they think that sometimes just leave it alone and that's it. No, you can't leave it alone. That's just like when you catch a flat. If you don't want to deal with it, can you just not leave it alone? Because guess what, your car, you're gonna be right on the flat later, right on the flat tomorrow, and the next day if you don't fix it.
Oh my gosh, you're so unbelievably right. We always joke, love you, mom, but I'd always joke with my mother and say that she's
Hmm.
an ostrich. She sticks her head in the sand and she
Uh-huh.
sits there and she'll poke back out, waiting for everything to clear or the storm to clear. And it's like, it's still here. I'm
Right.
like, that is, you cannot. And then you're harboring stuff in your marriage, for 25 years there's
Right.
because you did not take that time to address it then, and now it affects you 10 times worse, and now there's so much resentment because it's 25 years later and you never made it a priority to communicate it with your husband.
Right, exactly. And right there, that is a one big telltale sign as far as if y'all getting together, that's important. But if let's say if you're in that and that person never
Mhm.
don't want to resolve it, start thinking of leaving, because problems you're going to have, but you got to fix the problems. You ain't going to fix the problems in your relationship, whether you're dating or your marriage. Where are you going?
What's the point?
Yeah, so you might as well cut that right there. You want to read this one from Miss Doobie?
Yeah. I think giving and receiving correction is essential. Correction given in love is a form of love. And yes, but it is so hard to give that correction and receive that correction when somebody's ego is at the forefront, and it's not, like we had said, like the ego to help push you and drive you to do things that might make you fearful. But some people in relationships have a hard time taking any kind of correction or criticism.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people like me, a lot of times, I had to mature into that. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
most people mature into it. And then
Yeah,
once you
you're
do
right.
that, you can let it come in. And sometimes you don't have to react to it or respond to it at that time.
Yes.
Give yourself some time and then respond to it.
Ugh, ain't
So,
that true?
Okay, that's simply Tanat saying
Where's the smoothie queen, Miss Lillian?
we don't know.
I don't know.
She's missing in action. Dougie say, who's monkey online? He talking about that noise. Was that a bird?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm my dog toy. I think my dog's squeaking a toy. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, we heard it. Then Ms. Doobie says, go ahead. You want to read that one?
Yes, ego exclamation point. Many of us use our ego as a shield and not as a podium to elevate ourselves to do what we think we cannot. And this is so huge. I mean, this was brought up a lot in my recent conversations. Ego is often used, as she said, a shield or a protection to protect your heart from people getting too close sometimes, and it actually hurting you. And there's a fine line in my opinion, between ego and pride. And that's where I think people need to, I don't know necessarily how, but some people need a little bit of an ego check to bring them back to that level so they can hear you, because they ain't going to hear you when they're in that state.
Yes. Ego is so powerful. It is so powerful. And I hopefully people start paying more attention to their egos, because the ego
It's
can get
hard
you in
to
some
go
deep
up
trouble.
against. It is really
it is.
hard for some people to go up against it. Honestly, my reaction or my fight or flight, I'm automatically flight. I've had a lot of reactive people in my life growing up, and it was, for me, I would get me the heck out of here. I want nothing to do with it. So for me, it becomes, I have to pray about it, and ask God to guide me and like calm me, because when I know that I have to face someone's ego, I just don't do it. I just can't.
Right.
I'm not going to be a child and sit here and have a pissing contest with you. You have to be secure in yourself and secure in who you are, but not boast, right? Love does not boast, right?
Right. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Love has many different traits, and they're wonderful traits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you can practice that, and I mean, because all of us, of course, we love, but we have to learn how to love certain people, learn how to love what we do. And if you can generate a lot of those different things in your life, you'll display love to others. Important. Well, it's not an important question, but it's a question I want to ask you and Sweet Mama G.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you want to clear your you want to click off and come back on real quick?
Am I blurry? Because it doesn't look like it is on mine.
Yeah, it's a little blurry.
Okay. Yeah, I'll click off.
Okay.
Well, give me the question. Give me the question first, so I can think about.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna read a comment from Miss Doobie while you do that, and then we'll take it from there.
Perfect.
You still there, Sweet Mom?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so Chelsea's going to go off and then she's going to come back on. But okay, Miss Doobie says yes, and to shield us from correction, which facilitates our growth and evolution. So I definitely agree with that, because your ego could slow your growth It can slow your growth as far as growing mentally. Um, and that's the most powerful part because you could really put yourself in a place that you don't want to be because of your ego. If you let that, ego take a hold of you. What do you think about that, sweet mama?
So with your ego, definitely, when you don't feel like you can be taught anything else and you're the best of the best, it's okay to pump yourself, but when it's in a negative light or aspect, yes, it can be a hindrance. You want to be a positive, bright light, not a dim light on others. And that also comes in your professional life. You see a lot of people, either egotistical, in the workplace or whatever your background or whatever you do, and it's just like they just have such a negative energy that people don't want to really talk to them. And they get a bad rep most of the time, but it could be a persona that they could be giving off as, like you said, a shield for maybe some insecurities that they have on their own, but they just don't want people to see their insecurities, or they use it as a deflection.
Right.
I agree.
Simply Tenard said people have to practice humility and being and bring I see what she's saying. Yeah. Bring humility. So anyway, yes, they do. Humility is hard these days for a lot of people because some people don't want to pipe it down. They don't. They just want when they going from 5 to 10, that's it. 5 to 10. No humility. They don't want to pipe it down or nothing like that. The ego is on fire. And that's why we're seeing so much crime. That's why, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, so the question that I wanted to ask, I'm gonna start with you, sweet mama. Let me ask you, okay, do you have someone that you can think of, you don't even have to say any names, that when you met them, y'all built a relationship that you really cared about them and you enjoyed the relationship? Do you have anybody in mind that you can think about that?
What kind of relationship?
Well, I don't care if it was like dating or marital.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell us what made you and I wrote this down, but I just want to, okay, what attracted you to that person in the beginning and during the relationship?
I think for me, if it's a person I've met in person, usually I go off of energy. I'm an energy type person. I appear to be quiet, as people think I am, but I'm more observant. I kind of watch people, observe them, observe their demeanor, so I know how to, begin my conversations, or it might be something we have in common. So I'm like an observant type person, and then I might say something, how I talk, those kind of things. But I'm more observant. It's usually the energy, and I get like vibes off of people, and usually my vibes are usually correct. It may take a whole lot for me to maybe kind of warm up to people, but usually my first impressions or my energy aura I'm around people usually is correct. And I've had some people I work with there. I'm just going to say people we never just click because it just seemed like there was something not right with them, and I just try to avoid them, keep it moving, and just don't even let their energy spill over to me. Yep.
So let's say if you met a guy again with those same qualities, would you be willing to build a relationship with them and keep that?
What bad aura?
No, I'm talking about the
good
energy and everything else that you said.
Yeah, I love people with good energy, and that's mostly how I click with my partners or what have you. It has to be good energy, because without the energy, it's gonna be like, ho hum, I'm gonna get bored, or it's gonna seem like they're not interested or they're not trying to build. Usually, when you first talk, you just like you find the commonalities, like Chuck was talking, what's your favorite color? Hey team, I'm into sports, I like to watch sports, so we just start breaking out, just kind of getting to know people. What's some of your pet peeves? What do you like? Then start talking about food, just different things we've been, and it just depends on where they're from. Just getting their background out, so you kind of pull some things out of them so you can see, maybe the kind of person they are. And then if they have an ulterior motive, maybe that'll be broken in, like, nah, I'm good. I don't, particularly like him in that way. It could probably be cool. So it's just having those conversations and, just kind of digging a little deeper, but not looking like you're probing them, like, because of my background, I'm not going to probe like I'm at work. Right. You got to do it a certain type of way so they don't feel like, oh, well, she trying to, play mind tricks on me, because I get that you're playing mind. No, I don't have time for that because I'm not getting paid for that. So, you got to be careful with that as well. Chelsea, I always think you're trying to play mind or you're trying to hypnotize. No.
Like so you life coaching me right now.
Right.
So,
like, what are you doing? So, yep. So that's how you kind of get to know people.
So if he kept that same energy throughout, I know other things are going to pop up, but you wouldn't feel yourself growing apart from that guy.
I think once you get to know them and you have the good energy, that means you should be building. You should have good communication. That should be something like, I say, I don't like that, or I'm not feeling that. That's not sitting well with me that you feel that way. Is it, what can we compromise, or maybe am I not hearing you right, or can you explain a little more? I think we have to, not be afraid to have a closed mouth. You want people to expand on what they are talking about so you can understand exactly why they feel that particular way, or maybe something could have triggered how they felt that make them understand or say what they said to you. But you gotta probe a little bit more. You just say, "Oh, okay, but he just don't like me. Let me just go ahead." No, it could be something that could have triggered him, and it could be something in his day that could have triggered him. Might not been how he really felt, but you might be asking too much that could touch a nerve or trigger a feeling that he might have had from an uncomfortable situation or relationship before. So will kind of deter what he's really going to say at that moment, but. You just have to watch them. Even with your conversations, your face-to-face, watch their demeanor. See if they act, they jump up, they start spazzing, the little veins in their forehead. So, and then, if it does become that way, right, Chelsea, you just like kind of end that conversation and maybe take it another day,
you're right.
Don't give up, but just take it another day because that might trigger them. Yeah.
You're right.
So then you won't get the correct information. It could be. It took me... I known a guy for a couple of years. We were talking. I've known him for probably 10, 12 years. And just, over the years, dating him for a couple of years. It took me probably about, I want to say, 2 years to understand why he doesn't have a relationship with his mother. 2 years.
And he,
I would probe a little bit. He would say a little bit. And I was like, oh, let me not say that. That was a bad thing. Let me keep it moving. But he finally told the whole story. One particular, we're platonic friends. We just had a conversation about something that's coming up in Baltimore area. We talking about an event, and he just told me, I'm like, why are we talking about that today? It's just something that triggered. Talking about family. I think we were talking about his son's basketball game or something, and it just came up. Right. So look how long it took 2 years to find out why he doesn't have a relationship with his mother. So I could have been 2 years in a relationship with this man, not knowing why he doesn't talk to his mother. But
that's deep, though.
That's a good point. Seriously.
Yeah, because sometimes, you can, and it's really not understandable because you hate to see it. But if a young man has a problem, he don't have a good relationship with his father. Unfortunately, it's a lot of that going on out here due to breakups and all kinds of stuff. And he may feel some type of way about his father because of whatever happened between him and the mother. But then when you see a guy having a problem with their mother like that, that's too deep for me. That's deep. And that's something you got to definitely pay attention to. Before we get to you, Chelsea, here's a comment for you to read.
Miss Tina Boland. Divorce is too easy. People change spouses like underwear.
Very true. It is. And that is so sad.
It is, because people just do. It's easier. It is easier to just get divorced than it is to have to face all of the resentment and all of those hard conversations.
Bruh.
Now, here's one from Simply 10 Art. Says,
their approach and demeanor. He isn't he wasn't in a rush, but also let me know he was still a man with needs, kind, patient, and was there when I needed him to be. Show and prove, baby.
Okay. So now the guy's got to show and prove. I don't know about that.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
That's a bit much. No, I'm messing with you. So, all right. So Chelsea, same question for you. Same question for you. All right.
All right.
What attracted you to Dr. D?
Consistency in the way he showed up, consistency in his character, the fact that he was living with his grandmother lived with him. That was a huge sign to me. Like we said, how do they treat their moms? Well, how do you treat your grandmother? You know, his friends was a big thing because every one of his friends have been friends with him for so long. I mean, so long. He's for some reason he has like a bunch of older gentlemen that are his friends because that consistency. Obviously he's sexy as can be. But it was really truly the consistency and the way he carried himself in himself. He was confident, didn't feel like he had to, he doesn't say a whole lot, but didn't feel like he had to make points. You know, I heard something recently and it was like, if you have to say, here you go, concrete. If you have to say you're an alpha,
you're not alpha.
You're not an alpha.
Right.
Right. So that was kind of something I saw in that with him. And again, me and Dr. D were friends before anything, before we even considered relationships at all. So when you asked me that question, I was wondering where you were going with it. Do I think of Dr. D or do I think of a previous relationship? But really it boils down to that consistency and the fact that he had, and I'm going to go there. He had his own place, bought himself. He had his own car, nice setup, consistent job where he'd been there for 10 years at this point. All of these things and on it, my story's a little different. And God, I mean, God was a huge factor. I never made that part of the criteria. I've always been faithful, but I never made that part of the criteria. I was like, oh, okay, they can believe what they want, but they have to believe in something, right? That was what I used to say. But when I finally said, no, I need a man who loves God. I need a man who loves Jesus Christ. I mean, that's what I need. And when I made that flip in that thought process, that's when the attraction really came on for him. So our story's a little bit different because that attraction wasn't initial. Initially, I was attracted to him just physically, right? It was like, oh, he's handsome. Oh, I'm, to be honest, I was with women for 5 years. In my head, I was with women and I was not seeking a man. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, he's a cool dude. Oh, he's got this really consistent personality. He's got his own place. I'm like, oh, I always said, man, if I just liked men, I'd marry him.
See, look at you today. There you go.
Look at me today.
Shouts out to Dr. D. Shouts out to Dr. D. He said, come here. He said, come here. Let me show you what these men can do.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Save that one for another day.
Here's another one for you.
Well, there was a second part to that question, but losing it. Hell, they never had it, man.
Losing. Losing it.
I think she might have been responding to somebody else's.
Or probably it was something we said, I'm sure. And then she said also fear is a weapon. And it really is. Fear is also a sickness. It's a sickness too. It's an illness. Simply 10 Not said, I guess when she talked about me, you being extra. I was saying he showed and prove. Okay.
Saying now men got to show and prove.
Right. Yeah, I think I was when it was her comment, and then I guess,
Yeah,
putting all the drops and everything in there. I was just being extra. She said,
you
um,
were.
Miss Doobie, you want to read that one?
Oh, we got. Yeah, I definitely want commonalities, but more important to me is them being true in truth. Amen.
Hold on.
Go for it. Hold on.
Amen.
so yeah, yeah, definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that.
Mhm.
Did you read this one too, Miss Chelsea?
No, we didn't. I
Oh,
appreciate when people share information about themselves and I hear them, but do more observing of their actual practice and their character. Do their actions match their words? And this is huge. I mean, I know
mm-hmm.
Sweet Mama touched on this, but watch how their body language is. Watch where their eyes go when you ask them a tough question. That is so huge on really telling, and in the field of coaching, and that's a big thing for us is the underlying what you're not saying, right? So I think that's a huge thing to look at for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight up, and this is for men and women. A lot of times you don't want to go by people of what they saying, but go by what you see. What have they demonstrated? What actually have you done? What body of work can you show me that you've done? Pay attention to that.
Yeah,
Miss Tina Boland said, "Busy lady, proud of you."
Amen.
I think that
Probably
was
proud
who's
of
that
you.
for? Is that for me?
Yeah, probably for you,
Yeah,
Chelsea. You
yeah, I
handling your
know.
business out here in
Hey,
these streets.
I'm trying now.
Yeah.
No, I'm just having a
So
good time. I like doing the show with you. It's fun.
yeah, it's absolutely fun. Um, I look forward to it every week, and we
Yep.
share situation. But y'all know what? We need more y'all to pop up on this screen.
Please, I'm
Yeah,
challenging all of you in those comments. Miss Doobie, I'm calling you out. We'd
uh-oh.
love to get you, even if you don't want to come on the camera, we would love to have you on the line. But I challenge y'all, get on the screen. The jitters will go away, I promise.
Yeah, and then y'all gonna have a lot of fun. Then we ain't gonna be able to keep y'all off the screen. Be like, geez, is that you again? No, I'm messing with you. But and if y'all want to pop on, matter of fact, I think I put it up in here, right here. Hopefully it'll show up this time.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
right
said,
there.
Miss Doobie said, there, now it's up. Oh, Miss Doobie said there was no link posted. Well, it's up now.
Yeah, let's see. Let us know if you can get that link real quick. And I'm gonna leave it there for a second. Now we're gonna go into the next one here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna leave that link up. I'm gonna leave that link up for whoever wants to pop on.
Come
The
on,
link
with
is
it.
there. Okay. Now, let's say y'all get a guy, Cuz and Miss Chelsea, and everybody in the comment section. Well, I'm saying a guy because I guess I'm a guy, whatever, and it's mostly y'all women in here. So, and y'all get a guy that is spot on with longevity, not because y'all met him last week or last month, that he's still good this month, but after longevity, is he worth doing the work for and keeping?
That's a tough one. Because I want to say yes and no at the same time.
I know, right?
Well,
I have a longevity person, but it's kind of tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fall back into an old mode that I used to be, playing captain saver person and molding somebody. I want somebody already molded. I don't want to be having to build you because you don't have this and you don't have that. Not at my age. I don't feel like doing that.
Okay.
I know it's compromises, but men want you to have all this stuff, but then they can lack stuff and it's supposed to be okay.
Okay.
And a lot of times. Or they talk a good game, I'm going to do this, and I start giving timelines. Not to say I need you to have that, but are you working on it as like your background cheerleader? Or are you working on what you say you're going to work on, being accountable and holding to your word? If you say, I'm going to get a car in 3 months, 6 months, say, hey, what you working on? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, you say you're going to work over there. Oh, why are you taking off? Just being an accountability partner. That's what I'm going to call it. Being an accountability partner. If you say you're going to do this, do what you say you're going to do it, but I'm going to help you. But don't ask me for no money. And that's different. Be your own accountability partner. And I think a lot of times people need cheerleaders in their life to keep them motivated. They may not have people in their lives that motivate them. They got their homeboys and they go play their games and, cheer on certain things and, maybe go work out. But in other aspects of your life as an adult, do you have an accountability partner? I have accountability partners, and they every day we are making each other accountable, and that's what builds. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship; it's platonic. Yeah. I have the same with accountability partners at work. Some people I see that need some work. I'm gonna mentor you. I'm gonna challenge you to come to work on time. If you come to work, I'm gonna stop by Chick-fil-A. If you don't come on time, I'm gonna give it to somebody else. You have to build incentives in people's lives sometimes. And I think we don't want to, it's not getting into people's business, it's holding people accountable. Because it's not just that one relationship. That's how you build families in the community, by building accountability. You only take one person to spark that energy that can spark for other people. Then they'll get an accountability person. Then there'll be somebody else's accountability. So you want to build that gap between people and make people urging individuals to be accountable for their actions and their words. Like we said, the nonverbal and the verbal. And the no part was like, no, I don't feel like it, but I'm trying to be more patient because I know where I want to go.
Yeah.
But I'm holding you, instead of jumping into the relationship, I'm going to be your accountability partner / get to like a little bit longer. We're not going to have a title on it. Tell you show and prove, like Miss Chelsea said, some show and prove measures. If I see you get to your goals, then I may, throw in the towel. But it's that accountability, that nonverbal and verbal. Because if you don't hold your word to yourself, you're not going to hold your word to anything from me.
You know what? Here's the part that I ain't understand. And it wasn't just you, cuz it was a couple of the ladies in here. How did y'all have to think about that? If he's doing what y'all like him to do, why be hesitant about it?
So it's not what I like him to do. If we're building, I'm not going to jump gun-ho into 100%. Because if we're having a conversation of where we see our future, we're going to see, the paradigm, you're going to use the triangle up there. Where are we pushing upward mobility in our relationship? Okay? If I say, hey, I'm doing X, Y, Z in my life, this is what's going on, this is what I'm planning to do. And time, you can't measure time in your life because your life can end today or tomorrow's life is too short. But in hindsight, we're not supposed to plan our lives. You're supposed to live in the moment. But if you've been a planner all your life, it's kind of hard to do that. But where are we going with it? Because every day, I hope everybody is striving to do better and to be better in their life. However, you're going to start the gym on Monday, Sunday, whatever. So we always try to have goals. If you have your goals, and this is what you say you want to do, say you want to, I don't know, I want to own I'm going to use you, Curry, but not you. In fact, I want to own a dirt bike shop. Okay, so what are you doing? Did you call the credit people? Hey, I sent you, because I'm going to be a helpmate. I'm going to send you the information in your area for the business people. Okay, hey, did you call get an appointment? No, I didn't. You know what I'm going to do for you? What's your schedule like? Okay, you off on Monday. Let me see if they can get you an appointment. I'm going to help you make the appointment. I'm going to be a helpmate. I'm going to help you be accountable. But when I see that you're not putting any effort after 1 or 2 times, hold on. Now, if I build your business, that now becomes my business. That's not what I wanted to do. I'll be a helpmate, but I need you to be the leader of your own situation. A lot of people don't. They talk the game, but they're not self-motivated. Just like the same self-motivation, if you want to get to be that millionaire and have that boat for us to go on, those trips to Bali, and you talking about you want to go to the Caribbean, but guess what? We got to do some things in order to for us to get there. You want that house in Cali, you talk about doing, there's some things you have to put in place in order. Is your child support on time? Is your kids taken care of? Is your other things taken care of? You want to own it. It's about being accountable to yourself before you can be accountable with me. I didn't say to me, I say with me. You can't hold a word to yourself to make your life better. How you gonna come and sweet mama life and make my life enhanced? Because I have a life. How are you gonna make it even better? Because I'm not living how I was. I'm living good, but how can I make it even greater? But you can't do that for yourself. How you gonna do it with me?
Well, I mean, you hit it on the head, Cuzzy. But here's the thing. One, I can so see you. Like if he was trying to do something, I can see you. If he said, "Hey, I want to open up a motorcycle shop," and that's you. You would ask, "Well, who have you called? What connections have you made?" And then you'll try to make those connections with him. Shouts out to Bayliner for coming in, another new weekly supporter. We really appreciate you for coming in. And also, because here's my thing that I was going to say is that, and you said this in the beginning, but y'all women, y'all women, stop trying to make a man. Stop trying to build a man. Meet him. If you're going to meet him. Two, he's going to be who he's going to be. If he ain't what you want, don't waste your time. You see what I'm saying? Don't try to make him. If he ain't what you want in the beginning, don't waste your time. Just move on. Don't try to build him. Don't give him no possibilities, or I could probably do this with him. Don't do it, because that's where you get in trouble.
I stopped being that. Yeah, I stopped being a dreamer. I don't have time for dreams. I'm a doer. You can dream and go to sleep and dream and go to sleep. But if that's your dream, what are you doing to move towards that dream? I don't sleep that often. You know, they said people who are busy, we don't sleep. I'm sitting up here doing clinical notes on a Friday night because you have to check your schedule.
Right.
Person I'm talking about, they sleep, falling out sleep, watching the movies, going to sleep. I'm up still grinding and working. So it's a motivational level. That same motivational level you put into sleeping, how are you going to do your dreams if you sleep? That's the only thing you're going to be doing is dreaming. You're going to be dreaming about a relationship. You're going to be dreaming about all the stuff you want to do, but you're not putting into action. So you know what I do? I mind my business and I keep it moving on mine. And when you talk that sweet nothings in my ear again, I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, okay, I hear you. And then when you see me going, oh, where you going? I'm out. I'm out. Southwest gonna see me. I'm out. TSA gonna see me. Where you gonna be? Dreaming and sleeping in the same spot. And I don't wait for nobody because I don't have to. You know, that's not one molded person out here for you. You gotta stop putting everybody else first and not putting you first, and just take your leftover scrap. I'm the type of person, I'm a chunky, fluffy girl, but I don't like food that's been picked over. You see what I'm saying? You can put food out and it's been ran over and they at work and they pick it over. I don't eat that because I know that's not for me. You know, you got to have yourself a better standard. If you don't create better standard, you're never going to get there. You keep trying to bring everybody up and woe is them. No, I do that at work. I don't have to do that anymore in life. Right. And when you get to the point where you start giving that up and stop having a pity party in life, take a pity party to work. I don't even get pity parties at work. But it's the same thing. It's like you got, especially if you want to be in a relationship, male, female, whatever you like, you know, let you come first before that person. And it's not being selfish, it's being selfless. Be selfish towards yourself. That's not being selfish because you know what you want. You know, cousin, you like, you know, what makes you all want to even be in a relationship with people. People not having to take leftovers because they don't feel like, oh, I gotta be married. I gotta be married. I'm gonna be an old lady with a cat. No, people don't feel like that. People are living full of lives. males and females. I have male friends that are single, and they're not gay. They date who they want to date. They see, and they go sit down. They travel. They go work out. They go to work. They make their money by their little cars, their little motorcycles, and they're content with dating because they rather date than be caught up and then stick the person in the house with married. Now, you know, they get married and everybody want, as my son say, half the stuff, and they not even bringing half the things.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's rough. I mean, sometimes singleness worked for some people, and some people, you know, it depends on how they came up. If they were a only child, it may work for them. You know what I mean? I know you're an only child, Cuzzy, but I'm just saying,
don't do that.
Bruh.
I'm just saying. So, right here we had. You want to read that one?
We got Miss Tina. Never out in public together.
Ah, okay. Is there something wrong with that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You know,
I don't know. I mean, there could be. It depends on what your reasoning is behind it, right? Like, I mean, if you have a alternative motive for not being in public with that person, and you're trying to, you know, let's say, keep them on the back burner or keep them right where they want you.
Hey, bro, come on.
Right.
I'm just saying you got to be careful on that, but not if you're just a private, you know, you're a private person and you're more solo and you don't really want people in your business. And so there's a fine line in that. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think that it just had, what is the reasoning? Talk to your partner into what that reasoning actually is to why they want.
But you see a lot of married, I'm going to go for the women at functions by themselves. They say they have significant others. You see the pictures, but then they show up by themselves. Even in church, they say they got husbands. You see the rings, but it's like, well, do you really got a husband? Is he dead in the house or what have you? I dealt with that in my marriage. My husband never wanted to go out. He was just a homebody doing whatever he was doing. And said, okay, so I'm a married woman. Everybody else sitting there, you the third, fourth, or fifth wheel on the bus, and they all snuggling and, you know, giving each other the bunny nose, and you sitting there looking at everybody else. That becomes a drag at times, and people sometimes feel bad for you, you know. Or you're at the grocery store pulling all these bottles of water, you know, and he just sitting there, don't want to go to the store, don't want to go to certain things. And you got to know your partner, unless they're going through a depression. And a lot of people don't look for that because they're not clinical people. Maybe he's going through a depression. Or if that was his demeanor in the beginning, you knew what you were getting in the beginning. So don't try to force that man out. Unless he was somebody who was, you know, real. You know, my cousin has a lot of energy, like Conquer, a lot of high energy. And then now he's like a downer. You got to make me think there's something medically wrong. I had a coworker of mine, her husband was a real, you know, bubbly guy, but then he became more secluded. Come to find out he had a tumor removed when he was younger. It grew back. So it started messing with his senses. So it changed who he is. A young guy, he's like in his early 40s. And now he, you know, had to have the tumor renewed. Now she had to quit her job. We work together and she's his caretaker because he's diminishing. But she noticed her husband's demeanor. And she would mention it. He wouldn't see it. But then everybody else would. Of course, she sees because that's her husband. They've been together 20 years. And it's, you know, early 40s. But it could be something medical that's wrong with your husband or your significant other. So just be aware of that as well.
Yes. Because I've seen where people have tumors, like brain tumors. And it will actually make them have symptoms as if they had a mental illness. Like it'll make them have a symptoms of like they hear voices. I mean, it's a lot of different things. So you know what I'm talking about, Chelsea.
Oh gosh,
yeah. So
mental health is real.
Yeah, it's real, especially nowadays. Real. It's so common now too, but some people still haven't accepted the grasp of it. But it can happen to any one of us. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's how real it is right now. You want to read Simply 10 Hours?
It says, I'll work, but I can't wait forever. In regards to certain things, they need to get it in order. Yeah. Like Sweet Mama was saying, I'll be a helpmate, but I'm not going to build that business for you because then that becomes my business.
No. it's okay to be their biggest cheerleader, but if
Yes,
I'm
support.
talking more energy than you are towards your business, that's not a good thing because that's not my thing. That's supposed to be your thing. I'm not out here
Exactly.
promoting concrete, and then concrete ain't promoting concrete himself. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Right.
it goes back to the
No matter how much you want to be with somebody.
right. It goes back to that old saying. Old sayings are powerful, powerful.
They
Sometimes I
are.
think back. Sometimes I think back, like, what were these people think about back in the day? But when you have, you can't help somebody who don't want to help themselves, and that's exactly what you're talking about right there. Shouts out to
Yeah.
Brooklyn Z up in the building. Said, "What's up,
Mhm.
family?
Yeah.
What's going on, my brother?" And
Hey, Brooklyn Z.
he said that can we really have healthy relationships in a toxic society? Very good.
Topic.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a topic right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This world is so just messed up. It's like you almost have to go backwards to move forward, or you have to simplify to get more out of life. Because the more of this technology and society and social, these social tools that they have out here now, it's going to mess you up. You know what I'm saying? So if you can get to the point where you can, I'm so glad that I experienced, nature can heal. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Nature can heal. So, and I never get enough of it. You want to read
and I
Miss
was
Tina? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, this kind of goes off, along back onto that line, show me off or I'm showing out. So here's one thing I want to address is when you don't speak about these things, the human brain is going to make up what we don't know. So let's say that your partner doesn't go out with you, and this wasn't, like we said, part of his original character, and things are different, and it's not medical. People are going to make up what they don't know. So thank you, especially like Simply 10 Art said here, especially if it feels like you're hiding the other person. You may have something going on totally different where you might be in a rut or something like that. But if you don't communicate that with your partner, they may think you're out there running around on them, or because they don't know.
Right.
So I think it's important to highlight that if you don't fill in the blanks for your partner, and I'm guilty, and I think women might be a little bit more guilty of this than men, because our brains, we are so emotional and different and complex that most of the time, not all people are able to fill in those voids with positivity, right? A lot of it comes from self-doubt or intrusive thoughts that they have from insecurities that may have happened when they were 7, 8, 9, 10, who knows, that they're still holding on to. So that's why I like to say communication and is the biggest, that and listening are the biggest things, because your partner, you don't want your partner to think or have that insecurity that you're out there cheating on them. And then you have to sit here and try and justify why you were being that way. And it's hard once that thought becomes an intrusive thought that your said partner might be running around on you. It's hard to work against those and rewrite the script for that gap that we filled in because our man didn't, or our partner wasn't clear or didn't let me into what was going on.
So what if he?
But two things of that, Chelsea. You gotta be when you talk about communication. There's two things about communication. You have to communicate, talk,
true,
and then the person has to listen. It's just like a giver and a receiver, and it has to be that open communication. I like how Brooklyn say it seems like everyone has a do your own thing mentality about life. Nowadays, you can be in a relationship and still be single. Shaking my head. It's crazy out here. And it is. Right. And you can feel that way. A lot of people, because everybody's trying to do their own thing. It doesn't matter whether it's you're in your 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I think people sometimes lose interest or was in a relationship for a certain reason. And then it's like, dang, that's not what I wanted. It's just like buying a car. Like, dang, I bought this Mercedes, man. everybody's talking about this car. Oh man, let me upgrade to something else. Let me do something else. Let me go get a Hellcat. That's the biggest thing. A Hellcat. Okay, it was rev. It was flashy. Oh man, it guzzle gas and everybody stealing it. Everybody want it. Okay, let me get the coloring. So it goes up the level until you become satisfied. Like those shiny things don't make a difference. It's the quality behind a relationship. Those shiny women or shiny men or those whatever mouth takes. Oh, social media, like my cousin used to say, embeds a lot of thoughts in your mind, and it does. You tell us people getting these BBLs. Now you got men getting big booties. I don't want no big booty back. So it just depends. Oh, it's a mess. Point. I agree. Yeah, you can be in a relationship, be single, and I mean single because everybody out there doing. You have to make time for your significant other, no matter what it is. There's nothing wrong with giving your man a pedicure, or your significant other, a back rub, shave the head, whatever that y'all find. It's that intimacy time, and we talked about that before. Intimacy with your person and spending time that makes a big difference.
Y'all know we actually have. You called it, Miss Chelsea, and you made it happen, Miss Doobie.
Woo! Hello.
You done made it happen.
Good. I'm so glad you came on the screen.
Yeah,
and
it took a minute.
There's I guess you can go ahead and read her comment right there, and then and then we can go on with this.
Yeah. So she wrote, our perception is our reception, and thoughts become things. Yeah, very much so.
That's deep. That's deep.
That is.
So you want to elaborate a little bit more on that, Miss Doobie?
Well, I heard it said it was like a little while back, and it's someone said your perception of me is a reflection of you, and my ability to respond to you is an awareness of where I am, of myself. Yeah, and that hit different. Deep. So I was, and so it's like a lot of times it's like, I had someone say, a lady a few days ago, she said, "Oh, you like natural stuff. You're sort of granola," and I was like, "Okay," and she goes, "I'm sorry, is that offensive?" And I said, "Were you being offensive?" Because that's not how I received it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny when that happens like that. But go ahead.
And so it's like a lot of times I'm like, I'm not going to assume ill will, like what that's saying something of where my mind is and who I am. So I'm like always going to try to assume, someone's not trying to be malicious or mean to me.
Yep.
That's just their way of communicating or getting out their message. And so I don't take things personally. Like if someone blurts something out, I don't say, "Oh, you're just being mean to me."
Right.
No, you're in a state of mind and you're trying to your best to communicate me with where you're at right now. Doesn't mean that's who you are. It's where you're at right now.
Right. And a lot of times when people say crazy things or things that you don't agree of, if you can take that moment and take that breath and just don't react, but you can respond, but don't react.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, I try not to take it personally. But then it's like, okay, thank you for letting me see you, but now I know how to move a little more properly. I might not tell them that, but for me, my assessment is I understand them more, and then now I can choose how much I engage with them. So like I told someone once, I said, we're different. Your frequency is just different, and it's lower, and so our frequency is going to be lower. We're not going to be as frequent.
Right.
And we want to shout out Tina Bolin because she shouted out Dr. D. Say he's a true gentleman.
Dr. D.
You know what I'm saying?
No, he's a ladies' man. He wins over all these women, man.
Uh-oh. What is it? Brooklyn Z, he just posted up a comment. You want to read that one, Chelsea?
Yeah, it says every woman should take a massage therapy course. Men are going to get that massage from somewhere or another. Hashtag don't kill the messenger.
Bruh.
That's real.
Bruh.
That's real. I think, I know y'all gonna come back and say, well, men need to take a course in this. But yeah, if they can take a course in massage therapy, that would be very good. Especially, it can be physical massage therapy and also massage therapy of the mind. You know what I mean? And because men need, like, after hard days of work, we need that. You got to know how to, as we all say, stroke the ego. You know what I mean? Don't be a headache. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a headache, because men do not like headaches. Trust me.
Well, I was going to be on the more agreeance, but I do agree. Like if you do have a good partner, right, and that is something that you desire, I mean, and they are willing, absolutely. I mean, agreed. But I mean, you can't force every woman to take a massage therapy class. I mean, come on.
Well, she ain't got to, but the women that do, they're gonna say
one of the sick ones.
The thing.
Yeah, like we took home Mac.
Yeah, the women who do take that course is going to outshine the ones who don't.
I never said that wouldn't be true either.
But you know what? Is that my brother-in-law? He needs the
amen
after what I said.
Yeah. Kill the mess.
Okay. And then also we're going to touch on this. And cuz you still with us, right, cuz?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the signs, right? The signs that you're falling out of love. What can you guys give as far as each one of y'all can give us two signs that either you guys are falling out of love as far as women, or the men falling out of love, that you guys can recognize that they're falling out of love.
I'd say for me, one is my willingness to correct them. Like, am I right?
So you saying so you
someone
saying
would stop correcting someone or like giving guidance to them.
You saying that if you stop doing that, that means you're falling out of love?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Or even stop being able to receive it too.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think to add to that too is not being able to receive, say, even your partner's criticism or exactly what you said, Crete. I think both sides of that as well.
Yeah, no. Both of those are two good ones. But each one of y'all got one more. and whenever you want to bounce in here, cuz you can. But those were really good ones because at some point, if you don't want your partner, let's say, mispronunciating words, or a lot of times, say for instance, the man, usually we the ones be talking about saying some word all crazy, and then the mate will come in, no, it's this way or whatever. Okay, now if she don't care, I don't care what he say, he's a jerk. He could say whatever dumb word he wants to say. Yeah, that means you stop loving him.
Right.
So I get that. And then if he get to the point where, like, you need to get out of my face, I don't care what I say. If you ain't understand what I say, all that. Okay, yes, that means he's falling out. He don't care anymore. He's being stubborn. So I get that. So give me one more each, and then cuz if you have one or two as well.
Let's see. What are signs of falling out of love?
First of all, you gotta be in love. What people think is love may not be love.
She said,
calm down, baby, calm down.
Right.
Yeah, that is true. You definitely gotta be in love.
So how do you know when you're in love though? What's the feeling?
Crickets on my end.
Well, I don't know so much. Like, well, it's like being. I've been thinking lately. it's like being in a state of mind of when
Mhm.
you're in love, like you're nurturing and caring, and it's not so much like I feel good, but
Mhm.
is, it's like, I don't know, it's just more of like I am in a state of mind and in a state of love, and you can
Mhm.
be in that state with with people, and then so that's what I think is more of being in love and being willing to work to create that atmosphere, to create that that
Yeah,
state,
I
that
agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree that I wanted to add to that too is that state of feeling, and if you, I wake up every day and say, how can I make Dr. Z smile? How can I outlove Dr. D, right? How can I that's a feeling. I know where this might be going. Anyway,
But to appreciate
and
Go ahead. I
so
wasn't gonna get you. No, I'm
I
sorry.
knew it. I was feeling it. I was like, he's so gonna call me out right now. But I do, in a sense. Now you make me doubt myself. No, but again, I think it's ability to wake up every day and serve your partner to the best of your ability and try and make them happy, and still on the goals of growing together.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's one of the things as you're saying that is, I want to appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
And that just doesn't mean be thankful to that, but appreciate them like you appreciate and value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is to hone metal, metal sharpens metal, to hone them and to hone each other, like to strengthen.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it almost seemed like I stumped y'all the first time because y'all was taking y'all a little time answering it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, y'all supposed to be
You're
on
just
this.
middle in it.
Now
Well,
let me.
love's a hard thing to put into, like, there's so many elements to it. It's so hard to say this is what love feels like in 3 sentences. Now I could say it's amazing, it's blissful, it's beautiful, it's everything that I never thought it would be, so it is. I think that's a hard question to answer, but I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, y'all did a good job.
It's different for everyone because, like, your experiences, like you filter things differently than I do, and so it's like my experiences are going to perceive love in this way, in certain ways, and so somebody like perhaps where someone might be like, oh, they love me, they opened the door for me. I might be like, oh, they love me, they they thought of me on their way home and stopped and got a flower, so love, it's just different from our experiences.
Well, I mean, y'all got past that one. Y'all got past that one. I'll ask y'all now. I'm gonna try to stump y'all. So, how would you know if you are in love again? Y'all got 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Got him! Got him!
Too late. Y'all too late.
Right, that one's my favorite. Officially, concrete. That one's my favorite. Seriously,
I think you put forth effort.
So
it won't be so hard. It won't be so for me. I mean, yes, there's challenges and stuff like that, but that's something I learned what I thought love was, and it was like it felt like it was a lot of it was daunting at times and all of that. But when I found real love, genuine love, God's love on top of like all of it, it showed me that I had no clue what I thought love was, but it was not like it's always hard work, but it feels so good. I mean, it's just so rewarding. And I didn't know, like, everything felt great before and I was in love and all that good stuff. But this is like this is the closest the thing that I think I could feel. I'm not ever trying to compare to God's love because his is ultimate and number one, but it's the closest I think I'll ever feel to actually embracing God. I mean, so for me, that was the big difference from what love was before and when I truly found it.
Right. See, what the problem is with you got hooked up and he said, the doctor's about to speak. And then he just went in. Oh boy. Anyway. Okay.
You still want to address some signs or what?
Go ahead. Y'all, go ahead. Address the signs. Huh?
I was just saying, you wanted each one of us to give 2 signs, and we've gotten a couple, but we haven't gone through.
And now we wait for yours. No.
Yeah,
Mine.
exactly.
You know, these days I don't know how to love. These days, I just been through the wind and the fire. You know, I just don't know about love anymore.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I'll tell y'all about that one later, I guess. All right, so you know, here's the thing. It was something I was going to bring up, but you know,
messed them up.
hold on, let me get back. I made a mistake and flipped the wrong page. Okay, so you guys had already touched on this. Actually, so y'all, yeah, y'all did good. Y'all did good with those. Look, you keep on trying to get me to say it. So right here, you guys have actually mentioned this, and this is on the list. We say communication diminishes. So I guess Miss Doobie said when you were talking about how you stop correcting people, like, you know, you're not going to communicate with that person and correct them no more. Just whatever, however, you know. And then like, I guess that's also meaning losing patience with that person. You know, you're losing your communication, patience, and stuff like that. So that's another one that you know that you are falling away from each other. Then we're gonna go to another one where you develop a wandering eye. You know what I'm saying? I used to get accused of that all the time. Wandering eye. So with me,
I got a question about that.
Bruh.
So
go ahead, cuz.
You say you were accused of the wandering eye, right?
Yeah.
So just because I'm in a relationship doesn't mean I'm going to put the horse blinders on and just look straight ahead and close my eyes when somebody cross. Why is it so bad to say somebody else is attractive? That doesn't lessen your attraction to me because you might find Miss Doobie attractive. Why would I feel that I'm less attractive because you find her attractive? Because trust and believe there's going to be someone more beautiful than Sweet Mama. We don't know how that's going to be. And somebody more handsome than Concrete. So
Thank you,
I don't understand why people feel like that. Like if I'm with you, what's the problem? Wandering eye. I'm like, oh, you might be looking at, you can be looking at a woman, but what if you look at a man walking past? You might be admiring his suit.
Right.
Is she gonna say you got a wandering eye for the opposite sex? So it's like people is just so insecure about so many things. It's the wrong thing to be insecure about. It's just like, is my vehicle supposed to get jealous? I'm looking at another vehicle. I go to the dealership. It's like it's not even logical, and not at this age, because you know we should be more mature. Right. You know, I don't think we got 20 anything going, 20 somethings on here, but we should be more mature in our aspect. But that goes back to your own insecurity, and I've been there back when I was like that, but I was younger. Now I'm kid because all of us everything gonna drop stuff on everybody.
Right.
So, you know, you just gotta have that. You know, I wouldn't the wandering eye thing. But can I go back and ask a question? Maybe I came to the show late.
No, go ahead.
What does correction mean? You say when you don't want to correct your mate. What does that mean? What we say correct?
Well, correction could mean upright, almost like erection, or it could mean you're just going back to I guess to like communication with them to say, hey, I mean, that was wrong. I mean, that's the most elementary way I can explain it. I mean, I'm sure you can do it, you know, good as well, but you talking about correcting the mate?
Yeah, when you all say I go back and correct my mate, what does that mean?
I said it.
Correct.
I said that.
I think something about correct.
Okay.
Where this is coming from was the sign that Miss Doobie had said about when she found that she was falling out of love, that she would stop giving that constructive criticism. Correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Doobie. That criticism and maybe that correction might not have been the right word, but giving the corrections or giving constructive criticism was a sign that she or that person is maybe falling apart or being so that's where the word correction came from.
Okay, that's like correction. Okay, like what does that mean?
So I was I was a little bit right because I was trying to remember. I remember something that happened, and
the correction was used, but I was just saying if like I said, just speaking on it, more like constructive criticism or that, like you were saying, sweet mama, that helpmate, why if you're not gonna, I'm not gonna helpmate you. I'm not going to give you no guidance if you're unreceptive or I'm falling out or all of these things.
Well, with me, with the wandering eye thing, I mean, I never really paid attention, but my excuse, which was a true excuse, hey, I'm from Baltimore. I ain't going to be sitting up there looking straight and everything. Look, you know what I mean? Because, and you can look straight all you want. Somebody going to cluck you on the side of your head. And it's just me. Go ahead.
Well, sorry to cut you off on that,
no, you good.
but I just wanted to say, in women, please, ladies, correct me if I'm wrong. Women feel threatened by other women sometimes when they're riddled with insecurities. This comes up so much in the workforce. This comes up so much with friends and women just being friends with each other. Those insecurities feed and breed that kind of that mentality to where, my man looked in her direction. Maybe his eyes were looking at the lower end, and now he likes her. He wants her. I'm not good enough. He doesn't love me. It just it feeds that. And see, I don't necessarily agree in certain areas where, hey, we are human. And we are going to be attracted to other people, even if I'm in a marriage or whatever. And I'm going to be real. If there's a woman walking down the street and I think she's beautiful, I'm going to be like, hey, babe. And I'm not lying and I'm not exaggerating about this. I'm like, man, you can say what you want. We really do. We can look at other people and appreciate their beauty and appreciate what they have without making each other feel insignificant, because we're secure in our love and secure in our marriage. So I think exactly what Sweet Mama was saying is just so much insecurity that comes from that. So the minute they see the wandering eye, they go, I'm not good enough. He doesn't love me. What's wrong with me?
That sounds about true.
So let me ask you a question. It is for either ladies on the line, and anybody else can comment. And Uncle, you can even comment as well. Okay. Let's say you had a good girlfriend, and you have a very beautiful, good girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Would you feel insecure about her being around Dr. D or whoever you are significant with?
No, not one bit. You could. Yeah, I mean, people may not believe it, but it's so true. I mean, he could be at a conference or a work conference with a bunch of women and stuff like that. I know he loves me. He comes home to me, and that's all I need. And the good Lord reassures me of our love every day. So I really, really, really don't. And I don't know if that's because of who I am or just genuinely or if I don't know, but I do not get jealous at all when he communicates with women. I just don't. It's a waste of energy for me. I know he loves me.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times y'all women look at women's butts more than men.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Y'all be looking like, I remember one day I was pulling into the
women
store.
Are most critical of other women. Women
You're
are very
so
critical of what they got on. And I be critical of some people. I ain't gonna lie, depending on what if they come off at me wrong, I'm gonna be critical with them.
Yeah.
But we look at I don't like her hair. It don't look right on her face, and why she got that on? Look at her feet. She got bad feet. She got bunions. So we say everything to demean and belittle another woman. Just to just to say what we're gonna say. But I've had, and knowing friends, how they don't bring the unattractive person around their mate. So I'm like, well, Dad, if you don't trust your mate, there's something wrong with y'all. That person
That's what
can't
it
help
boils
stay a
down
good
to.
looking. Like, that's an insecurity between you all. I'm not going to drop my kindness because y'all got some foolishness going on. Guess what? I ain't coming to visit. So, it's just people's own insecurities, like you're not going to put your mate in the same room with your friend or hang out or whatever because you think they're going to, jump their bones. If he or she is that weak to go do something with your friend, they weren't yours to begin with.
You're so right.
Yeah, that's very true. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's one thing is, it's like if I started to question myself, if I'm going to be with somebody, like then, and I'm concerned, like, oh, they're probably cheating or they're doing this, then why am I even giving them time if I think that's the kind of human they are?
Right.
So yeah, you're using up a lot of good energy.
Yeah, like why am I here if I'm looking at this person as untrustworthy, maniacal, and not considerate of my life in general? Because if I think they're going to cheat, they're risking my life. So, I have to look at the character of that person, and then decide is that who I want to be with if I think they're of that character.
Right.
And also too, like if you have friends, like girlfriends, say Chuck, you have girlfriends. If you can't trust your girlfriends around your mate, you need to get rid of them. If you feel like they're being flagrant in any way, you need to let them go. Like I'm a boundary type person. I have a girlfriend. I'll say, tell your husband happy birthday. She said, oh no, you can text her. No, man. Tell your husband I said happy birthday. So you will never accuse me of sending text messages to your husband on one phone and that y'all out drinking and think sweet mama want him. Well, I said, oh, tell your husband happy Father's Day. Oh, hit him on Facebook. No, ma'am. I said, tell your husband happy Father's Day. And I felt boundaries for myself, not that I want them, but I'm being respectful of other people's relationships. And I think a lot of people don't respect other people because I want my girlfriend to check my husband. If something going down, let me know. And I want them to set the same boundaries for my mate.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't want to get set up with the okie doke because that's what that would have been. Later on, she'd have been
the pole guy.
Right. Can we get a? Did you want to say something, Miss Doobie?
No, I was scratching.
Okay. All right. Also,
my sign, but I want to talk.
Could someone read Simply Ten's comment right there? The 4 insecure.
Yeah, for insecure women, yes. ... That's why you choose your friends wisely. That's true.
Yep. Yep. And we're gonna cut up another. Let me see. We're gonna catch up with these. Okay, this is okay. That was the one you just read. Okay, Brooklyn Z. Want to read that one?
Yeah, if you know that your partner values your bond more than they value random sex, then there is nothing to fear. And that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yep. Brooklyn in here dropping gems. Let me see. Did we read this one? Simply 10 right there?
No. For those real friends, they know they are like sisters to me, and their men and children are brother-in-laws, and their kids are nieces and nephews, and vice versa with my guy friends. And I feel like that's exactly the dynamic, that to be respectful of everyone and all of those parties. I mean, absolutely.
Right. Now we're gonna move on to another one here. Let me see. All right, so we just did the their imperfections to start out, to stand out. No, we didn't do that about their imperfections. We didn't do that one. So now, but we touched on it earlier about the grades and stuff like that. But from what I understand, sometimes a lot of women like the gray, and when it comes in or whatever. That just shows maturity. On the man and the woman. So it's nothing wrong with that. Now, what about other imperfections? Tell me some imperfections that'll turn y'all off as women, so us men would know.
feet that are not cared for.
Amen.
Nice.
Right. Well, and the
Nice.
feet are like the second heart too. So like in regards
Oh,
to
yeah.
if they're not caring, it's like a reflection of their overall health.
Yep.
You know, like I've asked people, and I just asked openly, like just on my social media, I was like, when is the last time that your feet have touched the ground? I just asked people randomly, you know.
Yeah.
And some were like, I don't remember. And other people were like, oh, it's been probably a month or two. And others was like, 3 days ago. And I was like, okay, I was just curious. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah, I
another one,
like
Chelsea?
that.
You got another one, Chelsea?
Something that would turn me off. I know I always talk about communication, but if I see from the beginning that I'm talking about something and they want to chime in and respond on something completely different, and then I'm talking about something again and trying to get back to that topic that I was talking about, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to deflect," and they keep doing this, and I notice that there's a pattern of you don't want to hear me on certain levels, or I can't communicate or find a happy way to communicate with you. Those signs to me are going to show off pretty early. Now, there are some grade A BSers out there, so I'm not necessarily talking about those. But when you look at the things that we've talked about through this, the body language and all of that, to me is going to be how you communicate in that very first conversation about those questions and how you answered those questions to me. That's going to be right off the rip. Exactly. If that, I'll know in the first 10 minutes, honestly, if I can communicate and we can try to build this or not, in my opinion.
Y'all hitting it on the head. So Miss Doobie said feet, and pretty much yours was communication.
Correct.
And what about yours, sweet mama?
For me, at this point, it's health and wellness.
Okay.
And that's everything from your head to toe. I think, when you're dealing with somebody, you want to know if they have health issues, oral issues that lead to worse things, back in the heart. Even if you aren't looking like I'm not saying I'm the healthiest looking person in the world, but at least I'm doing things towards my health. Right. When last time you had a physical? Do you do holistic medicine? Do you have any health impairments that I may need to know? You fall out at the restaurant. Is there something wrong with you that you have an asthma from? So having those, when the last time you had all your medical blood work done to see what's going on with you. Do you know your blood type just in case something happens? So getting people in the habit of doing, your regular physicals, going to get your dental cleaned, having great hygiene. Because you'd be surprised about people's hygiene that been probably poor all their life, but as they got older and they may have ailments, they aren't taking care of themselves as often. So health from head to toe. I love like you talked about the feet, the reflexology, because that's a connection to all your organs in your body. And then just a person who their aura and their energy, their communication, they're willing to be a better person, not even for themselves, for you, if you all are going to connect your energies together.
Right.
So that's all health and wellness built in together.
Yes,
the natural, organic value of a relationship.
Okay. Yeah, y'all doing y'all laying it down. So fellas, y'all pay attention. Y'all got my ears open.
Yeah. I have one. Another one is and I guess a lot of times where they exist in places that don't exist. So when they're in the past and the future.
And you're pissing on the present.
And it's like, they're talking about what happened here and then what they're gonna do, but it's like, well, what about here?
Right now, in this moment.
We had one right here from brother-in-law. You want to read that one, Chelsea?
Yeah. I don't even like our mutual friends' Instagram pics. I don't need that BS, and that needs to be. Go for it. Oh, I thought you were dropping an amen. I knew you were dropping something.
I wanted amen, but I couldn't get it to it fast enough.
This one's There we go. Important. I can't tell you how many times like people are just lose so much trust and all of this over a heart, over a thumbs up. You don't have to do that. You can, I mean, one, I don't feel like you should be that insecure to where you can't do that, but he's being respectful of his partner by not doing that and not making sure that there's never a chance that she can feel that way by not. And so that's super respectful of that. And that's why I've heard, if you're in a relationship and you cherish that relationship, do not go like singing single women's pictures. And I don't understand. The younger generation doesn't get up. They don't understand that is. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You was going in. I mean, you was going in.
I did. That's why I didn't eat, because I've heard it so many times over and over. And it's like, I just don't understand. Like if that is a boundary. Go ahead.
Me?
No, I thought somebody said something. I was trying to, if there's a boundary that needs to be clear with that partner, and I've heard it where the woman has come and tried to talk to him about that, but for some reason, they will not stop liking single women's pictures.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Come
on, man.
Miss Chelsea,
she's right.
I've dated men I may have met on social, I'm gonna say a dating site or website. Have gotten together, been in a relationship, and they still on the dating site. Wait, what? Or they're still communicating with people and we're in a relationship. Or they were my friends before we were in a relationship. Wait a minute. But that's not the type of friends y'all were. So what's really good? So when you set those boundaries of moving to a relationship, you gotta also maybe not coexist in your old life, because now you're supposed to be building a new life with someone. You can't keep doing the same things. You're going to keep getting the same results. A breakup. So people don't understand, that measure and not liking certain things. But again, is that the insecure part on the other partner? So if he can't go like her on whatever type of woman, you can't go on the bald and bearded side and go like certain people. So don't ask for something of your partner that you're not going to stop doing yourself.
Amen.
True. Amen.
So, all right, now we got Big Sister said, what? And then we have, you want to read that one?
Yeah. When the man is rude, short-tempered, shies away from serious conversation, and abrupt, I also hate when a man walks away to avoid those conversations. Well, let it out.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
All of those are signs.
Yeah, they are. And those are signs you got to pay attention to in the beginning and make decisions in the beginning, whether you want to keep dealing with that. So we're going to go to the next one. Go on to the next one. All right, the next one is, all right, well, we went through their imperfections to start, their imperfections start to stand out. Communication diminishes, and then you develop a wandering eye. But what if you're cross-eyed? What are you going to do?
Or googly-eyed.
Exactly. What are you going to do? And then also, sometimes you'll fall for someone else.
But were you really in love?
Well, Concrete, you got to know your mate too. You got to know just because you get into a relationship does not, that same energy and spark you may like that person. Oh, he's charismatic and he's fly. Is he supposed to become a dud once you get with him? His energy or his light going to dim just because you with him? That person should still have that fire energy, but their direction should be towards you if that's what you all are connected to be in a relationship. Why should I have to turn my light down just now because we're in a relationship? I'm not saying be turned and be with other people, but why would I have to change how I look and all this old stuff? Oh, dress different. Well, that's how I got you. Now you want me to look a little different. So I went from wearing the cute little dresses to now I got to wear, have my face covered and my speak of it. That I'm not talking about for religious reasons. I'm just talking about dressing differently. So we just doing stuff like that. Wondering, okay, well, you knew who that person was. Like, I'm flirtatious. I was like, hey, daddy, but that's just my demeanor. So I may tone down a relationship. I'm not going to say that, when I'm with my man, but, that's just my sparkle energy. Like, some people have very vibrant energy, and you even have to deal with their vibrant energy. Or say, hey, can you tone down? You call a man daddy, keep quick, sweet mouth. I'm like, oh, well, that's my old life. I'm trying to repent. So, you just got to maybe do that, correction, that critical correction. You just say, oh, well, can you tone or don't do that or certain things like that. So just be aware about dimming your light for other people.
Well, here's the thing. Again, that's why it's so important to come as you are and that person accepts you who you are in the beginning. I don't want no surprises. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a female that wants to dress revealing. That is definitely out of my vocabulary, my mental vocabulary. That's not what I want. Why would I want a woman that want to display her shape or her looks to the world or to some other guy? Unfortunately, nowadays, social media, they are practicing that all the time.
At 13.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So that's not what I want. That's not what I want.
Yeah.
So did we read this one, right? When a man is rude. Yeah, we read that one. So let's go to the next one. We're gonna go to this next one here. Hold on one second. We also have when this is another one, when you stop thinking about a future together.
Yeah.
That's another thing to pay attention to, ladies and men, when you are falling apart.
Yeah. You're not part of the equation.
Right. So, I mean, because at first you think about all the things you can do together, but then now you think about all the things you can do apart. And that's something to pay attention to, and it's dangerous.
And I think another aspect on that, I mean, too, is as much as you want to have your goals together and working toward those goals together and those commonalities, I think a lot of people tend to get lost in that, to where they've lost their identities and they've lost themselves. So it is so important along this journey that you do have your passions and your loves that are separate from your partner, but you guys learn how to have that common knowledge, right? Like me and Dr. D, we want land, we want a motocross track, we want certain things. So that's where we are working toward. And those are mutual goals. But at the same time, I want to help people by communication and life coaching. And he wants to ride dirty bikes. So we have these common goals and these common things. But at the same time, we're growing together. So I think really a huge part of that too is knowing yourself enough to be able to have somebody else come in with their energy and not let either energy kind of consume each other. And then you lose yourself. Then you feel that you need, and you are starting to picture some of these things. Well, if I wasn't in this relationship, I could be more, I could do more, I could see more. And then again, that creates that. So I think the identity crisis in relationships is a huge thing, especially when we get in them so young. You're getting married at 18, 19, which there's nothing wrong with that, but we haven't really even fully developed or matured at that point. So there's a lot of differences and a lot of growth that's still to be had. So I just wanted to kind of add that extra element of identity in there.
Well, yeah, I totally understand. And you're right. Only thing I don't agree with is, when y'all went, you said you want a life coach and he want a motocross track, get the motocross track. You can life coach. You can life coach at the starting gate. At the starting gate.
Wait till you come to when you come to the house, you won't be saying that when there's a motocross track in the backyard and we only have an acre.
Hey, no, that's fine.
Make it happen.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. What are you talking about?
Make it happen.
Hey, I'm die hard. I don't care if it's a half an acre. We'll have fun.
Oh yeah.
Miss Tina Bolin said, a real man doesn't need to be a player.
You're
Hey,
right.
bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
No, I'm messing with you, Miss Tina. You're right. A real man is a real man is a real man. That player stuff, that's for the boys. You know what I'm
For the
saying?
birds.
That's yeah. So you know if you think about the description of a man, even when it comes to the Bible, playerism has no part of that. You know what I mean? If you want to be a husband, a
Yeah.
provider, a father,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? That player stuff is for for the fools or whatever. So
Is that call them pokies?
they call them pokies.
Is that what you call
Oh,
them?
yeah. No, they are pookies.
I need you to
Pookies.
call
I'm
up
sorry.
Cousin
I'm
Pookie
sorry.
and say, Pookie, it's time to vote. I need you to call up Cousin Pookie and say, Pookie, it's time to vote.
Yes, sir. The pookies are out there, and y'all better watch out, especially if y'all trying to start new relationships. The pookies are there. You can spot them. The pookies are getting sometimes the best of the women and getting them pregnant and messing their lives up before the good man meets them. Also, you want to read Miss Tina's comment right there?
Yeah. A real woman need to stop being played. As Steve
Dang.
Harvey says, a red sign or a red flag is a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Steve
You
Harvey.
gotta take. I don't care what you think. He's got some good words, but anyway, there's a level where we do have to take some responsibility as even men or women on the other side, whoever it is being played, or that we do have to take a level of responsibility that we did either chose to stay or didn't listen to the red flags. I'm not saying that there's fault on the woman, but we do have to take some responsibility that maybe I didn't read into the signs and I stayed, or however that may look.
Well, very, very true. Now, this next one here, I'm gonna leave it alone, no comment. But the next one is when you don't want to be intimate anymore.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Hey, now.
Come on, man.
I like this one.
Okay.
I like this one.
So, do we agree that that's a sign that you're growing apart?
Huge.
So, I don't want to sound what's the word I'm looking for?
You want me to talk on it first?
Yeah, you go ahead and talk one. I'll try because I need to say it politely or maybe not. But go ahead, Chelsea.
Okay. Intimacy. I'm just gonna say it frank. I mean, I don't know how long a sexless marriage really is gonna last. I mean, and I will call some women out. Now, I'm not saying there's not reason or whatever it is, but there are some basic needs of women, right? But of men, they might be a little more. And I have had multiple people, friends, whose relationships got so sour and so bitter over one thing, and the woman not putting out one thing. Okay. And I know that there is an emotional level there, right? So that goes back to my statement of women having to take responsibility of being played. Men have to take responsibility that if a woman is not emotionally engaged or emotionally with you, she is not going to want to give you that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna say this. That's
Go
the
ahead.
deal breaker right there. That's the deal breaker. I ain't say what I wanted to say, but y'all know I'll say what I want to say. But I'm just saying that's the deal breaker. And you know what? Sometimes when women do that, they deem themselves almost worthless to some men. Seriously, because that's like, okay, you think you want to get a car and then stop putting gas in it and still move forward? Oh, you know what? I gotta stop making references to cars. My little sister's
You
on.
do. I wasn't going to call you out, but 2 times today we got a car statement. I'm like, is he going to go there? Where's sis at?
I don't know what it is with me and cars, and I ain't even on cars. But anyway, yeah, seriously, it's like when you do that, like, okay, let me ask y'all a question as women. It's always the women that's doing that. But let's say if y'all man stop doing that, how are you guys going to feel about that?
So men do that as well. Don't ever get that twisted.
No, they do. I know
men
they do.
hold out, and sometimes women stop having sex with men because men may have some physical issues, or again, we go back to issues. It could be mental. It could be some physical issues. So they get tired of trying because let's say if it doesn't work, the man part don't work, and he's not trying to fix what's going on. She's not going to want to keep trying to start a limp noodle or try to resuscitate what's going on. But he also has to be willing to see what's going on so they both can work on that. So it's just not, oh, she hold, he hold now, or she hold now. It can go both ways. Don't get it twisted. Y'all must have forgot COVID, and it's been so many beautiful creations that have been made that women don't have to be bothered to deal with that. But you have to communicate what's going on. It could be a health issue. So don't get it twisted. It can go both ways. I've been in a situation, it can go both ways. So men hold out too, thinking that's okay. But listen, COVID has taught us women a whole lot of things, and some men got some good little things out there too, if the holding out get there. But that's just not even a conversation you should be having. So unless something health is wrong with you that you can't do it, you need to have that discussion. That's definitely a deal breaker for me.
Well, I can agree with you because a lot of times, yes, men, if they're not taking care of themselves or don't know the next move, because we grow older.
Good point.
We grow older, and some men, and I'm gonna tell you, a lot of men think like, well, I'm getting old, I can't do it no more. No, you're mentally making yourself elderly. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. You can change your diet.
I agree.
Yeah, you can change your diet. You can get your hormones and all that stuff checked and get them back in check. I mean, it's a lot of things that you can do. So sometimes some men want to just back off and be like, nah, because they can't do anything. And then also they'll want to go and start relying on the blue pill and all that stuff. That's not going to fix anything. That's temporary. And then eventually it's going to start, your body will become immune to it. And it's not going to be as effective as it was before. So you really have to do some main things, to get yourself right. Because now, again, a 20 or 30-year-old is nowhere near a 20 or 30-year-old when in the 90s or the 80s. You see what I'm saying?
They've aged. They're very aged at this point.
Right.
And then men got to stop thinking the only tool they can use is their penis. It's other things they can use. It's not always about your pleasure, but think about your partner's pleasure.
Yeah.
Just think about the other pleasures. It's just not one form of kind of sex you can have or intimacy or pleasure. First thing, it's always stimulating the brain. That brain stimulation is what's going to make it get it warm and pop. Not just the tools, because you can buy artificial things, but it's the mental that will get you there to that pinnacle point of pop.
Hey, bro, come on now.
Hey, you got to preheat that oven, man.
So Simply 10 Art said, in my field, we call that a 49 kml, whatever that is. But you know what? You're right, because well, Chelsea was just saying something too, along with what you were saying. Like, you can mentally, I don't want to use the word seduce, but yes, or you can mentally, if you
entice the brain, if you mentally entice the woman, that's it. You won't even need to do half of the physical stuff by the time you get there, because mentally, we're there. You get us there, but we need that. I need speaking for myself, I don't want to speak for all women. I need some attention, like actual, like I need some good conversation. As weird as that is, I want to talk to you and feel connected to you, and all of that. And if I don't feel that, well, you gonna have a hard time on your hands, buddy. Because if my mind ain't in there, then it's gonna be pretty hard for you to get what you want.
Yeah. So, fellas,
But you also can do like you got fingers, you got tongue, you got some other things you can do. You gotta explore your sexual. Look at Kama Sutra books. They're very different positions. There's toe sex, all types of stuff. So we ain't gonna get into that tonight. But there's so many other things you can do just without just a penis. What you think when it's two women together? You think it's gonna be that? No, it's other things. We always think one way, just the man and women, with this other ways. It's certain things, but you gotta explore those things, and don't explore with your side piece. Explore with your real partner. That's the problem. You'll do dirty things or other things with your side partner and be spread all out, butt world to the world, but you won't do those things in front of your partner. You're so secluded. I don't do this, I don't do that, but you go out here with a $10 hoe and do some things with her. So just think about that. That's how you can keep your relationship fresh. You're not going to keep doing the same thing for 20 and 30 years and think that person's going to be interested. You're not going to eat pizza for 20 and 30 years, 365 days. You're not going to have sex the same way. If you do, that's boring. And you're going to get tired very quickly.
So, fellas, y'all hear what the lady's saying. Mental stimulation.
Yes.
Start to practice it. Start to have the patience to learn it and execute it. You want to read this one, Miss Chelsea?
Women will also stop having sex or start holding out when the man makes them feel insecure or not giving her the attention she needs. I absolutely agree with this, and I really want to highlight the feel to make the feel insecure part. I'm just going to use, we've got Betty and Joe, right? Betty and Joe got married 26 years ago. 26 years ago, oral was not Joe's favorite, right? That was Betty's favorite. Well, they met in the middle for a couple years, let's say 3 years. They met in the middle, and Betty got what she wanted on her birthday. That was it, right? For 3 years. That was it. She got 3 times. Now, at one point, Joe made a comment that made her feel the word disgusting was used in reference to that act. Well, 25 years or 24 years later, guess what? They have not addressed it. And that Betty, for 25 years, has felt that she was disgusting because of that comment and that act. So if you make a woman feel insecure in that area, especially, of course they're going to want to withhold. So Betty didn't get what she wanted, and Joe asked for 25 years to get what he wanted, and he didn't get it. So now they had vanilla all the time, and it became an issue, and it became those sleeping hedgehogs to where Betty felt so insecure, and it was driving her to have thoughts of maybe doing other things. And that is what happens when you do not communicate and address the issues. And that's also what happens when you make a woman feel insecure about her, like especially her body.
So in addition to that, it's funny that you say that. Simply Tenart came up again with one. You want to read that one?
Yeah. Make me feel like a lady. LMAO. Yeah.
See?
Go ahead, Miss Doobie. I see it.
I don't think I want to be made. That ain't make me feel like a lady. Let me make me feel like a freak. So I think people are so uneducated about sex and intimacy. They're gonna accept anything from anybody. You gotta, in the beginning, let your partners know what you want, and then if that's not something that's going to be a deal breaker for you, you know, say it's going to be a deal breaker for me, baby. So I may have to get somebody else a pleasure, or I might have to look into another mode of something else. Because if you, for example, like a certain position or a certain thing done to you, and that person doesn't want to do it, then you need to let them know this is probably going to be a deal breaker. Because eventually they're going to want higher levels of penetration, sex, and pleasure. We talking about pleasure. It's so much deeper than just the regular sex. It's going to that pleasure point. People start off, as a teenager, called whenever you start having sex, you're going higher, 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 higher. But you got to learn how to get to your person higher. It's just like craving something, and then you got to get to your desirability level. Once you get to that level, now I'm going to find something else. It's just like, I'm going to use it like Pac-Man. You go level 1, level 2, you're going to get there, you go higher and higher till you win the game. It's the same thing. How does that make me feel more pleasurable? But people don't invest in time and energy and learn about the higher levels of pleasure when it comes to sex and intimacy.
Sounds difficult to me, cuz. You want to read this one?
Miss Doobie, go ahead. I see you. I know you're trying to speak. Go right ahead.
Miss Doobie.
No, well, it's like with for me when I hear people say, well, they made me feel. I had an experience with a woman and she was like, I'm sorry I made you feel this way. And I was like, I love you and you're super powerful, but you can't make me feel. I'm in control of my feelings. And so what you're experiencing me is me being insecure about my driving skills currently. And I'm sorry if you're taking it personal. This is me processing my environment. And so, like when you said about that fella coming in and saying, hey, this is gross. You smell, right? So perhaps, and that's that correction. He might not have delivered it the way she wanted to hear it. But then it's like, well, do I smell? Do I need to correct something? What is it that is gross? It might not be me personally. He might just be like, I don't like all this hair. I had an experience, I have trauma and I don't know how to, and so it's like, sometimes when we don't consider where they're at, it's just, it goes back to communication, but then.
Because Betty reacts in 30 seconds and Joe over here is completely passive and made an underhanded comment and not willing to budge on his view. So both of them, you're absolutely right, in there did not take the time to look inside themselves and put themselves in their partner's shoes. So I'm glad you pointed that out.
That is actually a very deep situation, because there are so many people out there and so many couples that don't take the time to get to know their partners. They judge them from the beginning and hold them at bay at just that from the beginning. And it's a shame, because if they start changing their angles and being more accepting to the way their mate is and work with them, it'll be a lot more marriages still together.
I agree.
Yeah.
You want to read? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, just to be able to learn them, not just be like, oh, okay, like deal with them or tolerate them, but to learn their language, like this is their, just have some understanding and appreciation for who they are and what they've been through, and then that's that mutual
respect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Brother-in-law's comment. Yeah.
Yes, I love it. I'm going for it. I swear, Crete, every Friday, the Book of Understanding Women gains another chapter or 2 or 3.
Hold on.
I think we are adding.
I should have had it ready.
Amen.
So, brother-in-law hit it. And I'm gonna tell y'all, there is no way that us men will be able to understand y'all. Period.
Right.
At some point, we just gonna have to just let y'all do what y'all do. But y'all have to understand that y'all mates, the men, are the heads. Y'all picked them for a reason, and you got to live with it. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to make him into something that he's not or he wasn't before.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to the next one. We only have like 1 or 2 more left. Your priorities change. In the beginning, like where that person was a priority and then now they're not, that is hurtful to that person that felt the the priority coming from you, and then now they're not. So I'm gonna tell y'all, men and women, if you start seeing that, leave, because that should never change. Your position should be to, when you earn that big thing of marriage, it's a reason why both of y'all went in it together, and that same feeling should be there from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Period. Shouldn't change.
I agree.
Miss Tina Boland said it is lust.
Yeah, a lot of
Amen.
Yeah.
So also, I thought that was okay. So now, did y'all have any more on that one? We were just talking about where the priorities changing.
You really said that very, very clearly. Honestly, I agree with you 100% on it.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Because seriously, that's what it is, and we see that a lot in a lot of different relationships. But I'm telling you, like, honestly, we as people have to make the change if we want a cleaner, better life. Because if we keep on, let's say, if you have people that keep on entertaining reality shows that are spreading filth, guess what? They're going to see their ratings go up, and they can say, oh, we got to make some more. If you start not watching it and they see the ratings of nature go up, guess what they're going to start doing? More nature. Just like when it comes to rap music, that's not hip hop to me, but rap music, all the killing and the drugs and this and that. Oh, put more out because they're loving it. Stop listening to it. Tell them, show them that you want to hear more cleaner, better music. They'll do it. All of us matter.
Something I wanted to say on that, kind of in priority, or in general, as you made me think of, I ain't gonna take any kind of kickback. I like Michael Jackson. I love his music and the lyrics that he had said in the song Man in the Mirror. It says, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could be any clearer. If they want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change.
Yeah.
Amen.
That was evolutionary for me as a kid. I remember standing in front of the TV and just being like, hearing those words. Yeah.
That Michael Jackson was something else. He was definitely something else, and that actually was one of my favorite songs of his. I used to mix it all the time, and I also I love Human Nature, that song. But a lot of that stuff, it was very powerful. Even We Are the World, a song that he had participation in. So music ain't like it used to be. It turned to shock value. You know what I mean? And when are we going to get tired of the shock value of music? Because at first, we had where I remember when the gangster rap came out, which would be NWA, Straight Outta Compton, the first song, and they kept running it. The shock value of it. So if we can make it, the change of what we listen to and everything, trust me, they'll make the change in that. So a shouts out to my cousin, Sweet Mama G, Living Life with Spice. Make sure y'all go check her out on YouTube. She said, thanks for having me on the show. Keep up the great job. Thank you, cousin. I'm sure Chelsea's about to pop back on.
Yeah.
I think she's making her for the internet connection. How about you, Miss Doobie? Can you read the comment up now with Simply Tenard?
Are y'all closing out? LOL. Good night, everyone.
Okay, yeah, we'll be closing out here shortly. And then she also said, you want to read that one?
Yeah. Again, your actions yield certain results. If you no longer show me you love me or care, then my priorities will become self-preservations. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's straight legit. Okay, we read those. All right, so just waiting on Chelsea to come back. But meanwhile, I'll go to the last one, and
Okay.
then if she pops back on, we'll do that. So also, you get to the point where you feel trapped in the relationship. If you know that's when you know that you guys are pulling apart, that moving apart, and you feel trapped, and that's a bad place to situation to be in and to feel. So and mainly that's for married couples, because if you guys are just seeing each other, like as far as dating, just leave. Y'all talk about it, and separate, go to y'all ways. But marriage is a bit more difficult, so a lot of times you could feel trapped, you know what I mean? But that right there goes to show you that's why the communication part was so important, because a lot of people could communicate and work through these things and save their marriages. But no, they choose to just go. I mean, I'm so sick and tired of seeing uh, people getting divorced. It's so crazy. But unfortunately, it's mostly women that's doing the divorcing. And now what? After the divorce, now what? You just lost your protection. You just lost your love life. I mean, yeah, you can go find somebody else, sure, but how good is that going to be at your age? You see what I'm saying? So, Miss Tina Boland said, "Being there when life is hard, that's love. It is, and no, that's the kind of person that you want to have your back, because it's easy to walk away. It's easy to be out of the way when they need you. When problems arise all the time, especially nowadays. It's ridiculous. Even trying to get groceries sometimes is a problem, for some people. So, I mean, you definitely need some good people in your life, or if you make your circle small, but make sure they have good people. You have good people. Sound like you wanted to say something, Miss Doobie.
Oh no, I was agreeing.
Okay.
Most
I don't know
definitely.
where Chelsea went.
Yeah.
Also, here's another one if you want to read that one.
Okay. There are legit reasons for divorce. For some, though, some don't forget that.
Yes, there are legit reasons for divorce.
For some, though, so don't forget that. Don't forget.
Yeah, it is. But most times, a lot of them could be worked out, but then some can't. When you talking, it's certain things. We
Well, and
already read that.
And it might be. It started out back here where it could have been resolved, but then the accumulation of like animosity and disrespect that comes after, not being willing to work at that where they first started it, like all the hedgehogs. Chelsea talks about, the bricks in between, and it's like it gets to a point of where it's like so far gone.
Right. Yeah. It's sometimes a lot of times you have especially like a husband, he can't put it like this. He can be an alcoholic, and that's hard. First of all, it's hard having to deal with him. It's hard seeing him go through this, because this was a person that you really love. It's hard to see him not being able to be a father if they have kids. And it's hard for the wife if he's not being sane, or not sane, but his head is not right enough to be the husband he should be. So it's a lot behind that. It's a lot of people are going through a lot of problems right now, and then alcoholism is definitely one, because this world would drive you to that. It'll drive people to drinking, drugs, and all kinds of foolishness. But shoot, I pray for everybody, because this we ain't living in no easy world right now.
No.
So, but go ahead. You was gonna say something?
I was itching my head, but I was it made me think a conversation I had with a friend a while back where they spoke to me on because they were an alcoholic and their struggle with alcohol, and they said they had to finally for themselves. They were a Vietnam vet and had some like PTSD and trauma, and that's how they were self-medicating. But he said for him it was a way to sort of commit suicide in an acceptable way in society, to where people would be like, well, he was a happy, he died early, he was drunk, but he was a happy guy. He was always happy, and where people will accept that when someone drinks themselves to death and not recognize that it's a form of suicide.
It is dying slow, because you're exactly, all you're doing is just poisoning your liver, actually your whole body, until your liver can't take it anymore, and then you're out of here. Miss Tina Boland said you can love someone, but they just don't rock your world on a physical level.
Yeah.
Know the song about it, like the here go.
Miss Tina. No, I'm messing with you. So no, that's true, because a lot of times that's why it's important. And I know y'all women go through it. I know guys, you can sit there like I openly talk about it, like, because there's a lot of guys out here, you can't tell them nothing. Shoot, boy, I'm smashing, I'm doing this, boy, I'm twisting and turning, and like, really, you know what I'm saying? And like, they're getting older and they still talking to trash and everything, and then they drink, they smoke, you ain't doing none of that, because smoking won't allow you to do that. Drinking won't allow you to do that. Sometimes just looking at them, their health, like their appearance, like, no, you're not even taking care of yourself like that. But yet you still talking about you smashing this and you thrashing that. No, you're not. So I know if you're not going to take yourself serious in appearance, you're not going to take yourself seriously a lot of times physically. So you're right, Miss Tina. A lot of these guys are not out here performing and what am I satisfying a lot of women on that level. You know what I'm saying? So because a lot of them just don't think they need anything. They think they're just fine.
Yeah.
So and I feel for y'all. That's why them places like Starship and all them other places. Oh, Starship is like a I don't know if they have a name, but like one of them places that sell all the toys and all that stuff that the women be going to, or that industry them blew up because these guys. So
vibe. It's when you were talking about the fella's health, or even the woman's health, the person's health overall, but one thing to focus on the man is you talk the head, and and he's the leader. It's, to me, it would be an uneasy feeling to be with somebody that didn't care for their health, because if they're not caring for their health and their livelihood, then where do I stand in their priorities? And so it's like you're not ensuring longevity for yourself. Like, do you even care if I'm here tomorrow?
Right.
Yay, Chelsea's back.
Miss Chelsea, welcome back. Simply Tenart said, don't be judging.
You talked smack about my hotspot, and it died. And I sat here the whole time because the little live recording thing kept going. And I sat here talking, thinking y'all were frozen the whole time, thinking, their computer was. And I sat there for like the whole time thinking, so, all right, make sure your hotspot is plugged in. Lesson learned for everybody. Yeah, I even edited the show. I did all the shout outs. I did every shout out in the freaking comments. Yes.
Wow. Yes. Yeah, no, we was here waiting on you. And when you was asking us, so when you was talking, and then when you came up with questions, what was our answers? No.
Y'all were frozen. It was so bad. Go ahead.
Wow. Man.
She was loyal. She finished. She's like, supported it.
Yeah, I did. I was like, I guess they're gone, y'all. I'll see you later. I'll end the show, go through the shout outs and everything. I'm just really glad it wasn't recording because I was rambling. So I'm glad y'all hold it down.
Yeah, they be like, I know Dr. D was like, you all right?
They passed out on the couch.
Oh, man. So that was a wonderful show. We had a lot of fun, and we're going to have another good topic for next week. And y'all be ready. We need more people. Thank you so much, Miss Doobie. It was nice to meet you and to pop up on the screen. We love your comments. And we need y'all to start stepping up. We great step this show up, and we need people on the screen. We need y'all either commenting with us or coming on the screen. If y'all have a situation, come talk to us about it. We won't tell nobody. Shh. Okay. We can all help ourselves. Hold up, Miss Tina Boland said women are cruel to each other. Where's that? Amen.
Amen.
Yep. Y'all be real catty sometimes, and I'll be trying to figure it out. But really, I'm not trying to figure it out. I just say, poor ladies. But go ahead.
No, it's just been kind of a catty week for me, and it's just been a little. I'm just glad it's Friday, and I just saw Tina Bowling's comment about Dr. D is a true blue man, and he loves his wife, so that made me smile.
Right. I hope that blue is for Yamaha. Thank you, Simply Tenard. She said she liked the good show. I mean, it was a good show.
Good. Thank you.
And Miss Tina said, great show as well. Thank you.
She made it to the end.
Yeah, yep. You ain't fall asleep on us, Miss Tina. Yeah. So we're gonna have a good topic for next week. And don't forget, if y'all like music or if y'all want to help us judge some music, come in on Wednesdays. We have the Brutally Honest Rap Show. And good night, Miss Simply 10. And there is Bayliner. Wow, a long show tonight. I slept through it. See y'all next week. Wow, thank you.
Thank you for the support, Bayliner.
Yeah, we glad that you go ahead.
I was like, don't forget to like.
Yeah, like
don't
the video, guys. Like the videos so we can get bigger.
Please
bigger.
It. If you
All
like it, share it. More views, more people. The more people we can help and touch. It's my view.
Yeah, exactly. So we need y'all to come on here and just cam up and we make it happen. Baylana said, I was here in spirit, and we appreciate that. We appreciate it. Thank you, baby sis. Baby sis said, good show tonight, all.
I got it right. Yes.
Thank you. And then a view is a view. Laugh out loud. We appreciate all of y'all. And don't forget, we getting ready to start a dating show. But I ain't gonna say the idea again this week. But it's going we gonna get it, and it's gonna be a fun one, y'all. So y'all be ready. I know you're gonna really be cracking up over this one, Chelsea. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. So if y'all matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if y'all have some friends that are single and looking for a man, or y'all guys have a homeboy that's looking for a woman, send them over here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brooklyn Z. Thank you, brother. So all y'all single friends, y'all get them lined up so we can get this show going, and it's gonna be something else. It's gonna be fun, old school fun. So once again, thank y'all. We shouted out everybody for coming in, and y'all want to leave with saying anything, guys?
I'm gonna say it like I do. I'm keeping it going. Love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. Keep it real.
Exactly. You got anything to say, Miss Doobie?
Stand hard in your standards and be the change.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Simply Tenard said, you want to read that one? Read that one.
Oh, Lord. Matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a catch. Me a catch.
Yeah.
Right now.
And that's what's going to happen, y'all. So be ready. We're going to be matchmaking some people, and then we're going to want y'all to come back and tell us how it goes, how happy he done made y'all, because men be making people happy. Yes, y'all, as we do. So, all right, y'all. Toodaloo, or whatever y'all want us to call it. Until next week.
We'll see you on the flip
Conversations in Crete with co-host Chelsea, Natural Coaching. Thank you, Sweet Mama G, and thank you, Miss Doobie. Thank you, Brooklyn Z. Thank you, Dougie. Thank you, Baylana. Thank you, Big Sis Leslie. Thank you, Simply 10. Let me roll up here. Oh, thank you, Miss Tina Bowling. Thank you, brother-in-law Tony. Who else? Let me got
your nephew.
Oh yeah. Thank you, nephew, Lil Mo. Who else? Make sure we ain't missing nobody.
We got a PD Collins.
Oh, PD Collins was in the building. Shouts out PD Collins. I didn't even know he was in here. Let me see. All right, yeah. So anyway, much love to y'all. I'm out. I haven't even. I need to get some more to eat here. So I'll see you guys for real this time.
See you. All right. Bye.
Okay.